Crazy in here.
Yeah, I have.
What's up, everybody? Hellabass / Punch Fishing Live tonight. The ICAST review show.
Your mic's a little hot, by the way.
A little hot. Let's is that any better?
Yeah, keep talking. I'll tell you.
All right. How was that?
That's a little
Let's turn
better.
down.
A little staticky
All
because
right.
they're a little high
It was
volume.
a little weird last week, and I was playing around with it, so hopefully it's
Still a little hot, but it's better than it was. I don't know. How's mine sound?
how's it sound for the viewers? I could care less if it sounds loud to you.
Fair enough.
Where's Brian to tell me how I sound and look? Jason says perfect. Oh, twinsies. We will definitely talk about the ICAST winners and losers and what we thought. And I invited Brian on Punch Fishing because we don't always agree, and sometimes it's good to have opposing opinions. And so I thought it'd be more interesting since I did kind of my preview. Now that we see who some of the winners are, the winners of like who got the awards, and also more stuff has been shown now that the show has actually happened. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't in that initial preview. But first of all, did you catch any tonight?
Yeah. So I went out with the sole purpose of getting some footage. Like I just wanted some clips. Like if I could catch a couple fish and get it, because I'm going to be doing 2 rod reviews, and I looked through some of my footage and it kind of sucks. So I'm like, maybe I can get some better stuff. So I caught one decent fish on one of the rods that I wanted to get a shot of, and I had it recording. So hopefully that's good. And then I was trying to get a bite on the other rod when lightning started rolling in, and I bugged out of there. So no, not great. Only caught a couple, but I checked off one of my to-dos.
There you go. Big time content creator now. You got all this pressure and
Well, yeah, gotta have at least some kind of clip of like catching a fish on my channel once in a while. What are you eating?
I bet I got a little ice cream.
What flavor?
It's like a black cherry chocolate chunk, I think.
Oh, what brand?
What is it? It's like something they keep running deals on Cub. It's like something Stone or I don't remember. It's pretty
It's
decent.
not not a fancy thing like Haagen-Dazs or something. Or
but it's pretty good.
So you're in an ice cream mood tonight. I love it.
Catfish with fried pickles. That actually sounds pretty good. I've actually been catching a fair amount of walleyes, and I keep chucking them back, and I'm kind of wishing I wouldn't have.
Fried pickles are amazing. Costco sells frozen fried pickles like in a big box, and I'm like, I throw them in the air fryer, and then have some spicy ranch to dip them in. That's like one of my favorite snacks nowadays.
We also had some tackle that just showed up today, so we can talk about that.
You're gonna do an unboxing? All right.
Hellabass Live is presented by Arsenal Fishing and boosted by Powerhouse Lithium. So thank those that support the show. Actually, technically, Punch Fishing is also presented by Arsenal and boosted by Powerhouse tonight.
Works for me. I don't have a single lithium on my boat, so if Powerhouse wants to hook me up, I'm more than willing.
And Devo was streaming tonight as I was coming on here. A little surprise stream from him.
Oh yeah,
nice. Talking to Thunderhawk Lures.
Oh, I did see him post that. I'm drinking some Arctic lager. Einstock. I don't know. Someone gave this to me, and
I have some Kraken and Diet Coke.
Oh, you got to be careful there. You're gonna get demonetized if you use words like that.
Let's see a couple things here. So let's see. So Tyler says should be renamed this year's BFS showcase. Was there that much BFS stuff?
I guess there's a lot of BFS rods. Shimano brought over their BFS Aldebaran from Japan.
There's a lot of micro lures. I guess could be.
Yeah, I didn't see a ton of stuff about BFS baits, but there definitely was probably more BFS this year than any other time. But I don't even think it was still that much. But then again, I don't really pay attention that much to BFS because I think it's stupid.
I agree.
I'm a BFS hater. I love spinning tackle. I like light line on spinning tackle, so I have zero reason to buy a bunch of bait finesse crap.
I don't know that I'm a hater, but I just have no interest. Like,
that's a good way of putting it. Well, I'm to the point where I'm a hater now because I'm tired of hearing about it.
mm-hmm. When will I start fishing BFS? When they stop making spinning reels.
Facts.
So have you officially stopped getting the bento box?
I did. I am no longer a bento subscriber. I told Ben you just don't renew. So like they send you an invite every month to like renew your subscription, and then if you don't want to do it, you just don't pay.
So like if you don't click accept, it doesn't actually come.
Well, they send you an invoice and you pay the invoice. And then if you pay the invoice, you get shipped a box like when they ship them. So they basically give you until the weekend or whenever they decide to ship the boxes to fulfill your invoice. So you can get it in your email and kind of sit on it for a week or two. But when Ben starts posting like, hey, the bento boxes are going out, then it's probably like a nudge. You better pay your invoice if you actually want it. But he manages people through Spotify. Spotify, I don't know if you know behind the scenes on Spotify, but they have like a subscription feature. So like you can actually go and see the status of your subscription if it's like valid or not.
Sure.
Anyway, but yeah, no, I quit. It sucks. Well, no, it doesn't. I'm getting $100 back a month, so it doesn't suck in that way. But I'll answer that. So they brought out the new Corrado. We're gonna jump right into this. I love it. So Shimano brought out the new Corrado, which means a new Corrado DC is imminent. So when that comes out, it's who knows. You got to remember, what do Corrado DCs need? Electronic components, like extra components. And what is hard to get out of China right now? Electronics components. So I'm assuming you got to remember when Shimano releases something, they have to make a lot of it because they have to supply the Bass Pros, the academies. Like they have a lot of big box accounts. And so they don't typically put stuff out until they can get it crates full out to these big box stores. So I will say that the Corrado DC is absolutely coming. I probably wouldn't think till next summer. Like I don't think
Classic maybe. Classic would be the earliest probably.
Right. I wouldn't even be surprised if it doesn't come out at the Classic. They might tease it. See, the thing is like the Shimano does this thing where they tease something and then you can't actually buy the damn thing for like 6 to 8 months. Like they do this all the time. Right. So, yeah, there is a DC. It's going to come. Now the Conquest is a different story because if you haven't paid attention, because you probably haven't shopped for Conquest, but basically a lot of shops had them, they sold them or got rid of them or whatever, and they haven't had any restocks because Shimano's not restocking anybody right now. So basically, the Conquest rod line is being like quietly discontinued. It's not like officially discontinued, but nobody's getting any more. If you go to Tackle Warehouse's website for the Conquest, it basically says there's no restocks coming. Like it says it's just the restock date. They have a thing where it says like restock date, not happening kind of a thing. So the Conquest is being retired. And I have heard from some dealers that they've already been like teased or shown what the next generation Conquest is going to be. Like people have seen it. But when those things are actually going to be available, probably next year. So yeah, Conquest reboot is coming from Loomis Shimano, but there's no dates. I had some of my moles at ICAST. I told them to go and ask the Shimano people if there's an ETN Conquest, and none of them would say. So they're being very tight-lipped about it.
Debo says you stood him up.
I think you or me. I didn't stand anybody up.
You. I don't know.
I didn't get an invite. He already had a guest tonight. Maybe were you watching his stream and then you left him? Maybe that's what it was. Debo, we need clarification.
When do you choose a yum dinger over a Senko? I like a yum dinger when I'm fishing them weighted. So like if I'm fishing them on a jig worm or like a weighted wacky or a Nico or something like that. If I like, I'm more apt to use a Senko if I'm truly fishing at weightless.
I will use a Yum Dinger when they are on sale, and you can buy a whole bunch of them really cheap.
Also, I probably really don't throw Senkos not in a tournament situation. So anytime I'm fun fishing, probably he's talking about last Saturday that you stood him up, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, I actually was out fishing last Saturday.
He
I was
stood me
out,
up last week too, if that makes you feel better, Debo. So
dude. I did so much fishing last weekend. I fished. So, long story short, I had a bachelor weekend last weekend. My wife, my kids, they were not where I was. I had basically my camper in Wisconsin to myself Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I fished all day, every day, all 3 days. So I was literally on the water for 9, 10 hours the whole weekend, every day. It was great. But you know, Yum Dingers are great. You can get them so freaking cheap sometimes. Like when they sell the bulk packs on sale, like that's a lot of stickworms for like way a fraction of the price of Senkos, right?
right. Bill, we appreciate you and everybody that uses our both of our codes as well. So
I think a lot of people are in a habit of using both of our codes every month.
yeah, they just got like they go, I use punches early and Hellbass late or vice versa, right? Like
Yeah, I know. I get people who I get messages or people are like, yeah, I use both your guys' codes. Anyone know another code? Is there a third code I can use? Because I've already ran through you guys' codes.
it's on my list. I haven't reached out to Gary. I have nothing scheduled, but yeah, it'll be good to have him back on one of these days.
Oh, so I've been using my ecstasy like a lot this year. And I'm going to do a video on it very soon.
Well, like, I mean, you can do a full review, but like,
oh no, okay. So I'll just say it. It's awesome. I really do like it. So I have the 754. Yes, I have the 754, and it's become a very favorite Texas rig rod for like 1/4 ounce or under. So like 1/4 ounce or under, like lighter Texas rigs, where I want the bait to just kind of real slow fall, sit on the grass. I'm not trying to like get through the grass, right? Or even just like up shallow. That's where I really like it. A gopher guy.
Catch any? Matthew?
Nice. South Jersey. I was talking to him today actually on IG DMs. He's a cool guy. But no, good. So what's funny is I like the ecstasy better than some of my 7'5" NRX rods because it's way more balanced and it's as crisp. It's still super fast like an NRX. Pretty damn sensitive. It's got the Torzite guides, which is nice. And I like the full cork handle for a longer rod. Like for a 7.5 and having that full cork is actually, I really like it. Like I've kind of grown to appreciate it. Cause like when it's on your arm, you can like feel that all that cork like sitting on you. It's kind of nice.
Well, Gators, if you need help, slide into my DMs. I probably could help you point you in the right direction if there's a certain rod you're looking for.
So do you have the 754? You have the 755.
755.
Yeah, see, I went one power lighter on purpose because I have so many rods that are in that kind of power range of 5. So I actually wanted something a little lighter because that's what I don't have, and I really like it.
Let's answer Debo's question because we know he's not going to last long and he's going to be going to bed soon. I got a bunch of other questions starred too, so I'm watching them. We'll get them answered. So do you have a favorite item? A single favorite item?
The thing I'm going to buy first is definitely the Stratic FM. To me, there's three significant reel releases that a lot of people aren't talking about because it's more fun to talk about all the drama. Like the ICAST drama is way more entertaining, but the most significant rod or reel to drop is definitely the Stratic FM. I want to buy one of those as soon as they come out. So that would be mine. Like of all the ICAST stuff, if I could buy something right now, I'd want a Stratic FM like tomorrow.
Yeah, that's hard. One single thing. Probably the thing that comes out, the one I want to get my hands on and look at and fish, and that I will almost certainly buy is the new $10 Z-Man Evo chatterbait.
Oh, so that okay. I was watching a stream with Bateman the other night, and they were talking about that thing. So that is essentially a non-collab with Evergreen. So it's like
Correct.
it's like a close to a jackhammer clone that Z-Man is making that they're not licensing. So it's theirs. Is that right?
It seems like it. I don't know that it's like it's a custom hook, so I don't think it's the same hook. So I'm guessing it's a.
It's a
Not
five.
saying it's not a good hook, but I think the Evergreen uses a Gamakatsu, like a branded Gamakatsu hook, I think. Whereas
Okay.
this one probably is like a BKK hook, which probably is a really good hook, but it's probably less expensive.
Right.
They've made a slight different modification to the instead of a double barb wire keeper, it's a combination molded lead and wire.
Double keeper, right?
Um,
Got like two
yeah.
things on it instead of one. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I think they've saved a little money on the hook. They're saving money by not splitting profits with Evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're getting pretty close to everything a jackhammer has for $6, $7, $8 less.
Right. Yeah. Look, and then they made some of the blades are kind of glittery, and they added some crazy shit to the blades. Yeah. I don't know. Looks cool. Yeah. I mean, it's a chatterbait. It's from Z-Man.
I mean, it's not exciting, but like if you can get, I mean, so when you're using our codes at Omnia, you'll be buying potentially a very high quality chatterbait for $8.50.
Yeah, that's a great
which
point.
is literally half price of a jackhammer. So
true.
I think I don't know. It kind of feels like Evergreen and Z-Man are kind of parting ways on a business. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like
well,
the
the
players
utility.
went
Okay.
super discount, and I don't know. I think.
Well,
I don't know if they're officially getting out of business with each other, but also I think the chatterbait patent is coming up. So this might be just a play, also just to get down to a more value based where they can like just secure the market and then make it, you know, like if everybody's buying a jackhammer for $15, $18 and the patent expires and Joe Ma and Pa and Berkeley and Rapala, everybody can come in and try to compete, right? If they can sell a $10 chatterbait, they can get market. But if Z-Man already drops down to $10, there ain't a lot of meat on that bone and temptation for people to go try other people's chatterbaits. That could be part of it as well.
So there's a utility patent from what I understand, and utility patents have like a 20-year shelf life in the US. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Maybe Z-Man is like ready.
It's got to be close. I mean, the chatterbait's been out for a while.
Right. And I think they started working with Evergreen in like 2004-ish, something like that. So yeah, I'm assuming that they're just preparing their business so that they don't have to work with Evergreen at some point. I don't know. Maybe they're testing the market too. Maybe they're like, "Hey, will people buy these?" and see how it goes. But yeah, that's a good answer. What about chat? What are things you guys are excited?
Man, I like went to start a few things, and all of a sudden I'm 65 messages behind. How many people? Oh man, we're up to almost 200. Holy shnikes!
Oh wow, yeah, we got 131 on your channel. Very cool.
Oh, look who's here.
Oh, that's my son Cole. Hi Cole. Who is that bald? So my son Cole endlessly trolls me about being bald. It's his favorite joke. He's 11 years old and he's been making bald jokes for years, and he is relentless.
We will touch on awards. I think it may have.
I really haven't looked through all the awards. I just saw the people reacting.
I got them. I got them pulled up here. We'll look at them in a little bit. Do I sound funny again, Travis? I don't know.
You sound a little hot. I don't know. A little distortion.
I don't know what's going on.
Do you have a gain on your microphone that you can?
I did turn it down a little bit again.
Yeah, it's a little static.
I think I'm supposed to go out to dinner because I'm fishing a tournament tomorrow on Saturday. I think I'm supposed to go out to dinner. So this weekend's probably not the best for me, Devo, but later on in July, my wife won't be so irritated. So
Yeah, let's set something up. Dude, he streams on Saturdays, and Saturdays are my like I try to get out fishing Saturday nights usually.
I think what happened is I took this mic in my backpack to Big Stone, and I think
knocked it
I
around
might
a
have
little bit.
tweaked it a little bit too much. I think I'm going to probably have to grab a new mic. I'll have to do some sound tests like off of StreamYard and see what's going on.
Yeah, record yourself, see what happens.
I just trimmed it, Bill. Come on.
Oh man, I'm in my early 40s, and I definitely have a trimmer for like all the different things. Like my wife bought me a trimmer like 3-4 years ago, and I use it all the time.
Okay, Sean says I'm still louder, so I'll turn it down a little more.
I can turn mine up. I was trying to keep my mic away from myself a little bit. I got a Yeti Blue.
Yeah, this has been a good mic for me for 2 years. I just think it probably didn't travel well.
Yeah, so I saw you went on your Big Stone road trip with Tackle Craft and a couple. Was one other guy too? Like, is a threesome or what?
Yeah, AJ from Horseshoe Customs.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
painter.
yeah. How was that like overall, like fishing wise?
Pretty good. It wasn't like crazy, but it was. He had a good time.
Awesome, man. Yeah,
he got a 25.5-inch, almost 7-pound walleye on one of his on a big M custom painted crankbait that he painted. So like that probably was pretty cool.
That's pretty sick. Yeah, dude. Big walleyes. I like catching walleyes. People, a lot of bass guys around here say like, oh, they're gravel lizards and kind of talk them down, but I think they're fun to fish for. They're aggressive.
I've actually, in the last month, have probably caught more walleyes than I have in a long time. Almost all of them on crankbaits.
Oh yeah, you're fishing moving baits around grass lines, I'm guessing, and that's where walleyes eat.
No, actually, like rocks, shallow rocks, like especially on the river this past weekend.
Oh yeah,
caught a lot of walleyes on a little John 50.
I will tell you, I have had way more fun walleye fishing now that I have forward facing sonar, and I kind of know how to use it. So I'll be looking for smallmouth in Wisconsin, and I'll be like a dog who sees something. They're like, whoa, walleyes. Like I'll be going around and I'll just see a walleye school, and then I'll just be like, okay, we're going to chase those. And then I like will put down all my smallmouth stuff and grab some walleye tackle and like chase them for 20-30 minutes, see if I can get them to bite. I'm easily distracted by walleye schools on forward facing sonar now.
I've made Bill, I'm gonna bring him home and he'll clean them.
I always catch and release. I very rarely keep them just because it's work. And like when I get back from fishing, the last thing I want to do is like clean a bunch of walleyes. I'm lazy.
Let's try to rapid fire through some of these questions and then try to get to the winners of ICAST here. I did not see the inflatable motorized donut.
What?
I don't know.
Inflatable motorized donut
kayak, small boat.
That's got to be like a watercraft, right?
Yeah. Casting has come out with this reel that's electronic with an app, and it counts your casts and distance you've reeled, and it's not just a DC. Like it actually has an app, and it tells you like how many casts you've made and how much line you've reeled in, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it, but I mean,
it's like a Peloton reel.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know. I looked at the schematics and I kind of looked at the press release for it, and I saw that it was over $300. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who the market is for this, because people are buying $300-something reels. I don't think they're buying Caskings. I think they're buying Bantams and Zillions, and you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there's probably the market of the person that likes gadgets. That's kind of a fringe fisherman, and they just like gadgetry.
I guess. I don't know. I'll wait till someone buys one and makes some stuff about it on YouTube, and I'll watch the videos. I don't know. I'd like to see someone else play with it and buy it.
I mean, it seems like it's right in your wheelhouse. It's for your channel, to be honest.
So Megabass basically does nothing at ICAST. They don't. So Megabass is weird because, like, from what I know, I don't have any inside, whatever. This is just my observations. But like the Megabass reps just literally walk around ICAST and have like baits in their bag, and they just show people. Like they don't have a big booth. They don't make a big deal out of it. Megabass's US staff is small. I think less than 10 people work for Megabass USA. So like they don't have they don't care. Like Megabass doesn't care about showing off to the US market. All they really care about is making sure their supplies get out to the stores. Like that's their whole job, is just making sure.
So they also have
stores data.
glasses that connect with that casting reel. that you
Yeah.
wear.
Does the app actually connect to the glasses? Like, are they
I
actually
think
like,
so.
you Bluetooth paired or something? But anyway, Megabass did not really like announce anything at ICAST. From what I know, they do have a bunch of new baits this year and a bunch of new stuff, but it was not like they don't give a shit about ICAST. It's not their thing.
Justin Jr., I like big game mono. I actually been using it a lot more lately. I actually been using it for chatterbaits. Been using it for most of my shallow cranking. I actually been using it for jerk baits. Like actually most of my moving baits, I've switched back to big game mono instead of fluoro.
Interesting. I haven't bought big game mono in. I can't remember last time I bought it. That's how long it's been. I know you can get. I used to get it at Walmart. I remember back in the day, I used to be like the line I'd use. Like big game 15-pound mono was like the Texas rig line that I'd use. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks for visiting, Debo. Have a good night. We'll see you guys around. And make sure you guys tune in Saturday night for Debo stream. He usually goes live around 7:30, 8 o'clock on Saturday nights.
That's awesome. Debo rocks.
Let's see. So
yeah, you got more. Is there more questions?
I'm never going to catch up on the J. And we're just going to. So I'm going to run a quick spot here from another partner, and then we're going to get into the best of show winners.
Are you ready to reel in your next home purchase
I
or
got one of those.
refinance? Supreme Lending's Dream Team can help guide you through the entire mortgage process, from pre-qualification to closing. We have a wide variety of home loan programs in our tackle box, including down payment assistance and first-time homebuyer options. You can ask Hellabass. He trusted us to help finance his home. Contact the Dream Team today by searching Supreme Lending Dream Team, or click the link below in the description, or scan the QR code on your screen.
I like about that spot, a couple of things. Number one, it opens with a Steez AGS rod, so that's awesome. Number two, I like that you have more non-endemic sponsors than most fishing leagues. You know what I mean?
And he's a bass dude. I don't know if you've ever met Aaron Dagus, but he's a bass guy.
No.
So he definitely helps a lot of guys get houses and cabins and stuff that are bass fishing. So if anybody's in the market and you're looking, give Aaron a call, give him a shot. Let's see what he has. BMP Fishing says Megabass has big things in the works.
Is that the actual Brandon Palnick? Or is it one of his social media guys?
I don't know.
Social dudes that run his accounts.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not his actual channel. I just went to visit the channel, and it's. So
for a second there, I was like, "Whoa, you got Palnick watching?"
It's not the official BMP Fishing channel commenting. I can tell you that.
Got it. Okay, it's a troll account, fake account, fan account. Who knows? Big Bass always has stuff in the works. You could say that literally any time of the year, any year. Like what X company has something big in the works. They all say that.
See, even Bill got his loan through Aaron Dagus.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
So let's look at the. I got some. We'll follow up. I see some gear questions. We'll get some of that we can get Brian's opinion on that stuff. But I want to touch on some of the
beer number 2
winners, people at least won the awards. Quick.
Yes. Someone said, "Is the Crowd OK going away?" Yes, it's discontinued. Crowd OK is dead. Okay.
Right. So Powerful Move won motorized boating accessory. That's probably not a surprise. Although I guess I don't know. So I guess maybe Minn Kota would have got. I guess the Quest would have been submitted. So it probably came down to the Quest and the Powerful Move.
Yeah, that's interesting because Minn Kota went nuts on their displays for all the new trolling motors with the brushless motors. Did you see their display? They had a bunch of water tanks, and you could sit and play with every single one of them. And then they had KVD just hanging out in their booth all day long. So Minn Kota went all in on ICAST.
That's the classic. PowerPole had several tanks set up with Powerful Moves, and people were in line
Yeah.
to
Play with those things. But yeah, I get it. I mean, power pole, this move has been rumored for how long? Like, how long have you been hearing about this trolling motor? I'd say at least 5 to 6 years. Like,
oh, for sure.
like this has been like in works forever. A lot of people like were calling it like vaporware. Like it's like, oh yeah, it's never coming out.
Oh, I wouldn't say how cheap is the power pole move. It's
Isn't it
$5,000, so I
5
wouldn't use
bucks?
the word cheap. How expensive is the power pole move?
I don't know,
Even
man.
the
It
new
looks pretty
Makotas,
sweet.
I think, are coming out at like 3,500 to 4,500. The new Quest Ultrexes.
I think the new Quest Ultrex only got a price bump of like $200. Like it wasn't. It did get a price bump, but it wasn't.
Well,
Giant.
there's different models. I think it's more than that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I kind of looked it up. It wasn't like a major jump. It was a couple $100.
So best freshwater reel is your Stratic.
So the Stratic is important because the Stratic is a reel that sells and everybody uses all over the world, right? Like we as bass fishermen go, oh yeah, Stratic's cool, but like the Stratic is a reel that sells in Australia, sells in Japan, sells in South America, sells up in Canada. It's a universal global reel. Like people buy the crap out of these things everywhere and they work in all conditions. They're built to be tanks. You can't kill a dang Stratic. I've had so many Stratic spinning reels that I have been very hard on and they just work. Like they're just, it's the Toyota of spinning reels. You know what I mean? Like just reliable, can take it anywhere, low drama. It's just a badass reel. So anytime a new Stratic comes out, it's always going to be significant because what's cool, Rich, is there's tech in this Stratic that the Vanford doesn't have, and the Stratic is cheaper. So some of the tech that's in the new Stella has already made its way down into this reel and skipped to the Vanford. So theoretically, this is more tech and more has more features than the Vanford and is like $20-$30 cheaper. So if you're going to go buy a brand new spinning reel next year, this is going to be a pretty compelling buy over a Vanford, unless you're only concerned with weight. The only thing Vanford's going to beat the Stratic on is it's lighter because it's the lightweight.
You can get the current Stratic when they blow them out and get also a very great reel for a really good price.
Yes, the Stratic FK. I have a couple of them and they're awesome. So hate the color. So okay, one thing is about the color. The color in this picture is not what it looks like in real life. The like, I don't know who took these photos for the product photos for this, but when you see people holding the new Stratic, it looks just like every other Stratic. It's just flat silver with some shiny silver. It does not look as two-tone as it does in this photo. They should have redone these pictures because these press photos are terrible of this reel.
I will say the video ads on Wired to Fish are more relentless than the ads on my channel.
All the pop-ups on top of pop-ups.
So St. Croix Mojo Trigon,
which is terrible name.
I think you commented earlier that you thought that there was some adventure and style. They took some chances with the styling of this.
I got a lot of thoughts on this one.
I feel like, is this just not going to catch on your sun shirt constantly?
I don't know, man. So there's a couple things going on here. So number one, a new product guy took over at St. Croix a couple of years ago named Ryan Teach. And Ryan has been trying to like make St. Croix rods and reels have better fit and finish and be a little more less like your grandpa's reel. Because if you notice, like since Ryan took over, he did the Victory line, which is a little more traditional. And then they went to the Legend Tournament Bass where they added in some flourishes, like a metal lock nut that's machined, and they made it a little more like premium looking. And then this is their new product. And this is definitely trying to appeal to younger anglers. Like this is because the Mojo is supposed to be like a price point rod, like a sub $200 rod, even though now these things are going to be over $200 in some models, from what I understand. So like they're trying to be a little more hip and cool. I don't know why they called it a Trigon. Does anyone know what the word Trigon is? I know it's a superhero. It's like a character. Like I want to know what names beat or did Trigon beat out? Like if this is the best name they came up with, they must have had some really terrible names up against it. I would have never called a rod line Trigon. It sounds like a discount transformer. Or
Well,
like,
it's like they tagged it on. They didn't get rid of Mojo Bass, so it's just
no,
like
you just call it the Mojo Bass. It's the new Mojo. Why is it a Mojo Trident?
is this the third
Trident.
edition of the Mojo Bass? Like third edition? I don't know.
I don't know. It's stupid. But also they went with a micro trigger. So I don't know. You can't tell in this picture, but they went with one of those little teeny, like kind of like maybe a Japanese rod influence, like a smaller trigger on the casting rod. Now, some people who held it at ICAST said they did not like the grip. It was like too smallish in your hand. So that's going to be a personal preference thing. But I don't know, man. I would be very interested to see how well these do. Because I don't know if you know this, Rich, but like the thing about the Mojos in the past is they're made in Mexico. So St. Croix makes all of their stuff from the Mojo up, like higher than the price point in Mojo. They make it in Wisconsin, and then Mojo and lower are Mexico. And so these were always slightly cheaper, had slightly worse warranties than like the higher end stuff in St. Croix. And yeah, so these things got a price bump, a slightly more dramatic design. Like I think the spinning rod handle is super weird. What do you think? Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, and I look at this and I feel like this is catching on my shirt constantly throughout the day. And I would say the chat's not really, for the most part, on board with this. So we'll keep moving.
Put a poll up. Would you buy a new St. Croix Mojo at? I think what's the retail? I think it's there. They were saying like.
I mean, I wouldn't have bought the old one. I wouldn't have bought the new one. I don't really buy any rods that aren't Dobbins, so I guess my opinion is really null and void. So
I suppose St. Croix is a bunch of old dudes trying to figure out how to sell stuff to young dudes, and this is what they come up with. They need to just hire some young dudes. I don't understand why St. Croix doesn't have some like young people come in and help them design stuff, because it's like older people trying to make stuff cool for younger people, but they don't really understand what younger people want. That's to me what that Mojo stuff screams.
So the Nessie wins best soft bait, which there's a something flag lure flag. There's a swim bait out there that this is probably based on.
This is a cut and paste from another Japanese,
which is like but that bait's like $50, right, for a soft swim bait.
Right. So Berkeley did the same thing that they did with the Gilly.
Flag 170.
Right. So they did the same thing with the Gilly, where they just took the JDM design, cut and paste, make it cheaper, and then go home with an ICAST award. So yeah.
And they're going to sell a pile of them because the flag I'm sure you can only get at like the hookup and a few JDM
on
shops.
Tackle Warehouse. You can go on Tackle Warehouse. Yep. So the flag,
okay.
The flag is on TW.
But the masses are not going to spend whatever $50-$70 or whatever it is for the flag. So, and this thing's going to retail for like $10 to $15.
So the big design change that Berkeley did is they added the tail is different. So the tail on the flag is all plastic, and this one is like the horsehair. You know what I'm talking about? It's like like a different material on a brush. Yeah, it's a brush tail, and versus a plastic tail on the flag. That's the big design change that Berkeley decided to do. Other than that, if you put them next to each other, they are literally Ben at the Hookup Tackle had a flag, and he grabbed the Berkeley one and put them side by side and posted a story today, and they are crazy similar. Like dimensions, features, everything is almost the same when you put them next to each other. Edwin, I don't get the joke.
Edwin Evers, because the Agent E.
Oh yeah. This isn't as the Agent E was not a direct 100% copy. This is like a 95% copy.
Well, here's the thing: is like 98.3% of people have never heard of the flag that fish.
I know. That's what Berkeley banks on, is they can take these niche baits that people love, that a small amount of people love, and then make a whole bunch of money by copying it and blasting it out to big box. I get it. You know what I mean? Is it
and then
cool?
They put their own. They put in their hook clip from the cull. Right, cull shad, I guess.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's one of these things where it's lame. It's lame that it wins awards. It's lame that Ike and his cohorts go on videos and talk about how great it is and how proud they are of everybody involved. I don't know. It stinks. But also, All these ICAST awards were bullshit. I mean, do we even talk about that? How these ICAST awards are totally rigged? Like,
Oh yeah, it's technically. I mean, it's all about lobbying and influence more than it is the
right.
debates themselves.
It's funny that things that win ICAST awards are going to be readily available at big box stores, isn't it? It's funny that small companies that don't have big box store distribution don't win ICAST awards. Isn't that just strange, right? Like, it never happens. I wonder why.
It's pretty rare.
Well, it's because from what I've heard, I wish I could find it. There was a video. Okay, so a while back, there was a stream with someone who's in the fishing industry. I don't remember what stream it was. It might have been like, I wish I would have saved it, but I think it was like Smallmouth Crush or one of these people who actually said that behind the scenes, the brands push their distributors and then everybody who's in that network to go vote for one specific thing. So there's a ton of gamesmanship going on at ICAST to make sure that the stuff that wins is stuff that can be put out into the big box networks like right away, and then they can ride that little ICAST winner wave. Even if it is a wave, I don't even know if that matters.
And I'm sure there's alliances, right? Like,
right.
Johnson Outdoors is working with the guys from Costa, and they're aligned with whatever, right? I mean, they kind of like, hey, we'll make sure all our jabronis vote for your bait if all your jabronis vote for our baits or whatever, right?
It's all gamed. And what's funny is a lot of people who go to ICAST that aren't in alliance with any of these brands or just kind of independent people, they actually go and do vote seriously. But a lot of them know that it's meaningless. It's like, I'm going to go vote for the stuff that's actually the best. And then it's like, oh, that's cute. That's so quaint. Good for you. It doesn't matter.
It's like voting. It's like voting independent at the elections.
Right. Yeah. It's like voting third party. It's like, good for you. That's very true. But so anyway, the point is the ICAST awards are not democratic in any way, shape, or form.
The fix is in.
They're all fixed.
It's very much like a Russian election, I guess is what we're saying.
That is good.
Or an
That's
Illinois election. Either way, whatever you want to think about. So yes, the Evo Chatterbait wins best hard lure. There's a kayak that wins best boat.
Wait, go back up to that.
Won something.
Wait. Go back up to that Old Town real quick. Is that the one that has there's one that has this like electronic assist on the paddles or the foot pedals or something that looks really cool.
This one has an actual trolling motor, it looks like.
Okay. No, that's not a trolling motor. That's the thing that spins when you move your feet at the bottom. But one of these had like an electronic assist, like you basically build power by rowing it, and then it like makes it easier. I don't know. I'm not a kayak guy, but one of these things had some cool tech on it and looked pretty sweet. I'm guessing that's what this thing is. Like EPDL stands for something.
Sure. Oh, it's like E-pedal. Okay. Probably stands for E-pedal. Gator's Adventure. Yeah, the Z-Man Custom, I think this is going to have a little better the Evo will have slightly better components than the Z-Man Custom. And the Z-Man Custom was a really good chatterbait, but you could only get it at Tackle Warehouse. Now this one's going to be available everywhere.
Okay, yeah. So someone says that kayak has a 36 volt, 20 amp battery with the pedals. So it's like an e-bike. See, that's kind of cool. See, like that's actual advancement.
So e-assist, but not recharge from the pedal. That seems like a waste not to be getting like.
Oh, so you're not regenerating it with your own, like you're not powering the battery.
Should have regenerative powder. That's a waste.
Well, on e-bikes, isn't braking regenerating it? But I don't know. I don't have an e-bike, so.
Some of them, I think. I thought it was funny that like Shimano Mastiff Fluorocarbon won an award. Because I feel like there was actually probably some other lines that, I mean, what's so exciting about this fluorocarbon? But
it's exciting because Shimano has a lot of big box distribution, and these are going to be on the shelf at Bass Pro, Dick's, Academy, and all the major retailers come next spring. That's why. Don't underestimate
the of all these things.
Yeah, don't underestimate the power of Shimano. And
I think Costa has won the last 37 sunglass awards.
That's so true.
I mean, they make good sunglasses, but nobody has a chance outside of Costa.
No, I'm a Costa fan. I have a lot of Costa glasses. They're great. But yeah, it would be cool. Well, the thing is, the Costa people aren't even at Costa anymore. They have that Bajito brand. Like they've all broken out. And dude, so have you touched any of those Bajito sunglasses? Omnia sells them. I've played with them a few times.
I saw them at the Classic.
They're really nice. Like they're as nice as a Costa. Like the people who ran Costa are running the Bajito, and they know what they're doing.
Yep.
So I actually wouldn't be opposed.
Melinda Hayes was at the booth. I talked to her at the Classic.
Yeah, I'm actually not opposed to buying a pair of Bajitas at some point. I like a lot of the Costa pros have jumped over, like the Bajita guys have like pulled them over, like Scott Martin used to be Mr. Costa. Scott Martin used to have a salt boat wrapped in Costa, and now he jumped over to the Bajito guys.
Fly fishing.
Yeah. Oh, Garmin. Wait, go back up. That Garmin Live Scope. What is it?
Ice bundle.
Yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure that's not new. That's weird to me. Oh, maybe it's the new version of the Live
or Ella. I don't know. It's just a new version.
Right. Oh, we got to talk about this thing. This VMC swinging Ned. How is this? Was there really? I get it. VMC, big box. These are going to be at every Dick's Academy, Bass Pro, Walmart. These things are going to be everywhere. But was there really no better terminal tackle than a jointed Ned bait head?
I haven't studied it. I mean, there are some new hooks. I know.
It's a Ned bait head where the hook goes up and down. It's just a jointed Ned bait head.
Does it only go up and down? It's not like full swivel?
I think it's up and down. I haven't seen videos. I could be completely wrong. It could just.
I mean, if you think about the theory of why we like the ring hook and the pivot heads and the Tokyo rigs, I mean, there could be something to this that it could be.
I don't like
a
that
better version of the Ned. I don't know.
The one thing I don't like about it is that it's pointed at the front. Why is it pointed? Why can't it be round or flat? So my point is like it's always encouraging it to lay on its side, right?
Sure.
Like, why not have it so it can tip up? But I guess if it's jointed and you pull it, the bait's always going to still go down on its own weight. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if it's got a joint and you pull the head, the bait's just you're going to make a V you know what I mean? Like the physics on this thing is weird to me. I don't really understand what the advantage is. Because wouldn't the weight of the plastic make it lay down all the time? So if you pull on it, the plastic's not going to swing up, right? This thing's confusing to me. I want to see it in a tank or something.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably buy a pack just to see, but
I'm not. The swinging Ned head is the perfect example of a solution without a problem. You know what I mean? It's like they designed something that's not fixing a problem or not like addressing a problem. Do you know what I mean? It's like they just designed something to design something.
I don't know that I really want to look at the new fishing line.
Did you see one of them? I think it's Seagar is selling a braid with fluorocarbon in the same box. So you buy the braid and it comes with a bunch of leader and they just threw it in the same box. So you don't got to buy two. Was that on this list?
Maybe. I already switched pages.
Oh, that's fine. Did you catch that though?
No.
When I saw that, I go, why has anyone else thought of this? You know what I mean? Because if you're buying 10-pound braid for your spinning rod, you're going to go buy leader material more than likely. So they're throwing the leader material in the same thing. So they like made it a combo box that you buy. It's just like one thing. You get leader, and it's not a little bit of leader material.
For somebody that just wants a kit to get started, but I mean,
right. What? How's the one versus 902S? The 902S is way softer. The 902S is a noodle. The one is pretty stiff. The one is the 7.6 medium light Steez AGS rod. It's more of a medium with a soft tip, whereas the 902S is like a really whippy rod. So I will be using the one all year long. The 902S is a seasonal thing. I use it in the spring on hair and a couple other really light things. I don't really touch it. So do you know what Roddy's talking about?
No.
It's called, okay, look it up. It's called the Poison Ultima. Go to Tackle Direct. Already has these loaded up, or American Legacy has these loaded up. Long story short, long story short, Shimano has a Halo rod that they've been selling in Japan for 5 or 6 years called the Poison Ultima. And it's like they make them in really low numbers. There's only a handful of models. And when they release them in Japan, they sell out and then they're gone. So they're bringing over 4 Poison Ultima models to the US market through Shimano USA. And that was one of their ICAST announcements was Americans can buy the Ultimas without buying them from Japan. They're $850 retail, and it's kind of like their sports car. It's, I've not touched one. I've never seen an Ultima in person. I don't know if I would buy one. There's only 4 models, 2 spinning, 2 casting. I got a question for you. If you're only going to sell 4 models on a rod, what lengths and actions do you think Shimano is selling in the Poison Ultima?
I'm guessing the ones that they're selling are like medium lights and mediums. They're not the ones I would pick. They're probably like 6.5 foot medium lights.
That's interesting. So the spinning rods, I believe, is a 610 medium light, and then I got to look it up now. But yeah, you're kind of right. There's not a heavy rod. I think in the casting, it's a 7 foot medium heavy, and then like a 610 medium light. So basically like a jerkbait topwater rod, and then just a 7 foot medium heavy, like all around. And then in the spinning, there's a 7 foot medium, and I forgot what the second spinning is. I think it's like a 610 medium light as well. But anyway, yeah. But here's the fun thing with the Ultimas. They don't make that many of them. So I don't even know if very many stores or shops are going to get these US Ultimas to sell. Like, if you see one and you want one, you probably should buy it because there's probably not going to be that many of them out there. I don't know why you want to buy $850. Oh, here's the fun thing, Rich. No one's talked about the warranty. Like, no one knows what the Poison Ultima US rod warranty is going to be. Is it lifetime? Is it 1 year? Who knows? Like, they haven't said
probably like it's going to be probably Megabass, original owner only, like difficult, like
right. Yeah.
So we're just going to look at some of the baits. So the dime, it's a 10 footer. I don't know. I don't have.
Okay.
We've talked about the Nessie.
Oh gosh.
Bronco
okay,
bug.
I got a question for you. Which caused more drama? The Crush City Bronco bug or the Berkeley Nelly? Because both of them created a lot of drama this week.
The Nelly?
Whatever the rip-off flag right? Swim bait or the rip-off OSP beaver. Both of them created so much rip-off drama. I wonder which you think got more hate.
Probably this one. I think more people know about the OSP.
That's a good point. Although this didn't win an award. But yeah, this bait alone has caused so much salt on Instagram and Facebook. People are so mad that Rapala and Wheeler are coming out with this thing. Have you ever fished a beaver, a live beaver?
I feel like didn't Wheeler in his interview kind of like I didn't watch it, but he kind of basically said it's pretty much this, but we did a different hinge, or like he pretty much said like he didn't walk away from it saying it wasn't inspired by the doe live. I feel like
you can't not. I mean, it's too obvious, right? Have you used the doe live beaver, the bait that this is ripping off?
No.
I have multiple packages of them because a lot of them came in the bento box. So I've used them. There's a couple problems with the OSP beaver. You ready? Number one,
it's overpriced.
Super soft. Like they are literally, because you use them to fish smallmouth usually. And so when I throw it out and I catch like a 14-inch, really, you catch a little smallmouth, they go crazy, right? They're jumping, they're flying around. They tear the crap out of an OSP beaver. So like they're one fish wonders for the most part. They're super soft. So like you can go through if you're on a smallmouth school, you can go through a whole package in like 15 minutes. If you're catching a bunch of fish or just even getting bites and whatever. Point is they're super soft. And yes, they are $10 a pack. So yeah, so they're spendy and they're not very durable. These are probably going to be $6. I'm guessing they're like $5.99. And they will probably be more durable. And I think these are bigger too. I think this is I want to say over 4-inch bait. I don't know what the exact dimensions are on this thing, but it is a slightly bigger. Wheeler wanted it to be something that you could like flip on a Texas rig. Whereas the OSP versions are more for like 2/0 or 3/0 hooks. They make a Magnum one that's like a bigger one, but I think this bait falls in between the regular beaver and the Magnum. I think it's like more 4 or 5 inch or something like that.
All right.
Are you gonna try one of these?
I don't know. I'm just not. Probably not. We'll see. Freeloader.
This thing seems all right.
Seems all right.
It's a pintail chatterbait trailer. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, I mean, chatterbait. It's twofold, right? It's supposed to be a chatterbait trailer and kind of
Put on a jig head,
a Demiki rig style, moping style bait,
which is like what everyone's used a fluke for since the dawn of time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, one thing I noticed that like all of these baits. Scroll back up. I don't know if you could see it in the pictures. All of these new baits have the word Rapala in the mold. Like every single one of these, they found some tricky way to put the word Rapala into the mold, which I think is actually kind of cool.
Why didn't they put Crush City on the mold?
Or Jacob Wheeler's logo. But I will hand it to them. They somehow managed to squeeze the word Rapala into every one of these baits, which
I don't know where it is on this one. Must be on the.
It's on the other side.
So this is interesting, though. The one thing I did say about this is that this does say this is built with TPE, which is some kind of new formula. So I'll be interested to see if this is really like one of the first baits that comes out and gives you the best of like regular plastic and Elastec and finds that happy medium where there actually is something to that. So I will be interested. I will probably buy a pack of these just to see what this TPE is really like.
Yeah, the Ned bait doesn't look too bad. It seems.
I mean, there's nothing special about the shape of the bait or the bait itself. I'm interested in what this TPE is all about. I guess that's the interesting point for me.
Yeah, I agree. It would be yeah, that's fair enough. Totally fair. So
I'm more likely to try the cleanup craw than the Bronco bug.
That looks exactly like the Chunky D. You know what I mean? Like same kind of length and profile.
I like to use baits that look like this. So
yeah, it looks like a fairly average jig trailer. Is it 3 inch? It's got to be 3 or 3.5.
3.5. So it's very close to the Chunky D.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of baits like this size now. It's like this space is very crowded of like the sub 4 inch craw trailer world is like crazy.
And the Mayor is basically a rebranded Largo shad.
Yeah. Yep. And it's got the word Rapala somewhere on there. I don't know where they put it on this one. I did. It is on there. Oh, it's right. Oh, yeah. It's in the top part. That's funny.
OG Tiny 7 Deep. I talked about this the other night. I'm going to probably just kind of rapid fire through some of these unless you have a strong opinion. This is the Strike King Rock Crawler Competitor built on. That's kind
what
of
I thought when I saw this. I'm like, it's like the Spro Rock Crawler. Yeah. Okay. Can we say something though? Spelling
it's
dog.
Not a copy, but it's a competitor. I mean, they're going in after
that mark. It doesn't look at all like a Spro Rock Crawler. Can I say something? Why are we spelling dog DAWG in 2023? Like, did someone at Strike King think dog is still like a cool term or something that the kids say?
Well, I think isn't the Sexy Dog spelled that way, so they're probably keeping consistent with the Strike King brand of the Sexy Dog.
Oh, you might be right. Oh, they need to just knock that off.
Deep version of a jerkbait they already have. Okay. I don't really.
This thing doesn't make any sense to me.
This bait's going to be gone in no time? I think.
Okay, but is it supposed to be a Ned bait? Is it supposed to be?
No, it's supposed to hold a 5/0 hook. It's supposed to be more of a flipping bait.
It's 3 1/4.
I think they're but they're basically it's almost a bed bait where they want you to put a 5/0 hook, so like literally the fish can't miss the hook type thing.
I guess. Wouldn't a 5/0 not? It doesn't seem like a 5/0 would fit that thing very well.
Tiny popper.
So that's a small popper. This is BFF
times on the river where shatter small poppers work, but there's other small poppers out there. I'm not going to spend any time on crappie baits. No, sorry, crappie fishermen.
Me either.
Bill Lewis came out with a bunch of tiny micro.
That's BFF stuff.
Crappie style.
There's a walleye bait right there.
Jacob Prosnick Brush Panda.
Isn't it a weird way to put the isn't that a strange wire guard? The way it kind of sits on top of the head. It's like it's got a
maybe
mohawk.
There's something to that of the mechanics and the angle and the geometry that actually makes it work better.
It's like it's got a mohawk.
I mean, At least it's a new take on how you set up a jig. So I guess we'll see. Jig Squad, not a fan.
Dumb.
What do you know about jigs, Kuda?
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I
Man,
did
you
hear
gotta-
about. So Big Bite Baits was bought by the parent company of Yamamoto GSM. Did
I
you
did
hear
not
that?
know that. Oh, that was very recently, right? Like in the last
Yeah,
week.
like it was like the day that or day before ICAST it was announced or of ICAST. So yeah, so I think they bought not only Big Bite Baits, but I think they actually bought what is it, D&G, the company that actually pours the baits.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. Buckeye Lures, the Shocker swim bait head,
To me,
double
that
barb.
looks like a jigworm head.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder. So they have the J Wheel head that has the same shape front. This just has a different barb system. I don't know. 1/8 to 1 ounce. I'm guessing that's not a Ned. So the G Buzz.
So this is Gerald Swindell's
Gerald Swindles.
custom. So
It's basically Gerald Swindler's Toad Buzz.
this thing I would use because the things it looks fine.
Yeah.
It just looks like a pretty straightforward buzzbait that you can DIY your trailer on. I don't know. Swindle's pretty dang good at throwing a buzzbait, so I would trust his designs on those things.
So they have this one, and then they also have the Chop Top. This is more of a headbanger, I assume, the Chop Top.
Yeah, I guess it looks smaller, maybe. I don't know. It's so hard
Head
to tell.
knocking design. So it's supposed to be more of a Boogerman competitor. If anybody's familiar with a Boogerman style buzzbait. So there's the flat-headed Ned.
This is something literally nobody has asked for. Nobody has asked for this. Why is this a thing?
Why is what thing?
A flat-headed Ned rig or Ned head.
Well, you didn't want a pointy-headed Ned.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I guess everyone fishes flat surfaces.
So this is Mark Daniel Jr.'s Ned head.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I like how Mark Daniel Jr. is a noted. Go back up. Read the copy on this. Buckeye Lewis team with Mark Daniels, a noted Ned fishing expert. To who? He's not. Give me a break. He's a rattle trap expert. I wouldn't say. When I think Ned fishing, I don't think MJD. I'm sorry. Okay,
the shaking Nico Craw.
Okay, go back to that. You know what this reminded me of? First thing I seen it. You know, at car dealerships when they blow up the big thing and it flaps around. What are those things called? That's what this is.
Yeah,
it's
true.
It's the advertising.
The big inflatable, like
yeah. Even the picture, it looks like
there's
he's having
somebody's
fun.
like, I'm gonna make a worm that does that.
It's like he's having fun. It's like wee.
So Mark Daniels Jr. did win a Wahi,
but he did not win it on
Ned.
a Ned rig. He won that on a wacky drop shot, from what I remember. He was drop shot in a wacky worm, a wacky Ned. One of
the chat disagrees. The BR fish.
What? Yeah, this looks like a walleye bait. This is a walleye bait.
I think this is more designed to be a front-facing sonar minnow darter type setup.
I guess.
And then we have a smaller version of the Realis crank.
I like that color. The all pink is kind of cool.
The Finder Shad.
So
Hover Stroll.
Yeah. So Duo likes to sell these combos with the plastic and the jig head in one. Like this is one of their things that they do.
I feel like this would actually be a pretty sneaky chatterbait trailer. I feel like most hover strolling plastics also make good chatterbait trailers.
Have you been playing with the hover stroll? I have.
Not much.
I've been playing with it and it's kind of fun, but it's also like, I don't know. I got to put some more time into it, but I have been playing with the hover strolling shallow. Oh, the T-Hawk. I have one of these. Where is it?
Wait a minute. How do you have it? It just came out at ICAST. Everything comes out at ICAST. Boom. There's no way you could have it.
I got a T-Hawk right here. So do you know what the
bento box?
Yeah, it came in a bento box.
So you've had it for a while.
Yeah, so the T-Hog is a backgliding crawbait. So you're supposed to rig it backwards, and then you're supposed to pitch it, and it will fall very slowly backwards for dock fishing. So it's like one of those things. It's just a backgliding bait, but it's a crawfish version.
Would you throw that on a free rig?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, you could, But yeah, it's designed to slowly go real flat like this and just go backwards with its little arms kicking. I've watched videos. There's videos on this thing on YouTube on how it backglides, and it's actually really kind of cool. So anyway, it's a backgliding bait. That's what it's for.
South Jersey Fisherman, are you a big T-Hog guy?
Have you tried backgliding?
I'm sure he has.
No, you.
No.
It works.
I mean, I've nail weighted a ring fry, so yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, I've rigged some backgliding baits like backwards on an EWG so it glides under docks and
The
it actually
Wriggle
pretty
Indy
effective.
Slim.
Oh, I have one of these too. It's just a Ned bait. So Duo's house brand of plastics used to be kind of Japan only, and all of these are just them bringing all these plastics that they've been selling in Japan and they're distributing them in the US. So none of these are like new. These have been out in Japan for a while, from what I know.
Huh.
Yeah, so all this
Lunker Hunt. Gotta
Dude,
love yourself some Lunker Hunt.
Oh, wait, go back up. That one is that's the Riddler's favorite bait. It looks like a question mark. To me, that's
Thanks for making me scroll back for that dumb joke. Thank you.
I had to make it.
Lunker Hunt Hive. So they got all these hive baits. That's like a theme.
Hive. It must be a like Crush City, but it's the Hive. Maybe it's because it's all bug related. I'm guessing that's what the Hive thing means.
I don't know.
This is.
I won't be trying any Lunker Hunt anytime soon. The makers of the spider and everything else.
Yeah, Helmagranite. It's odd that they're coming out. Oh,
so Dudley coming out with his version of what looks like the combination of the Maxent creature hog with some appendages.
It's very creature hoggish. I don't like the creature hog. You know, have you flipped with the creature hog?
They're very soft.
I don't like how I've missed fish on them. I actually think they're kind of dense in the middle, and I don't get good like the hook to come out through it. And the other thing I don't like is for some reason the creature hog doesn't come in and out of cover really smooth. Like it's always grabbing stuff. Like I had to clean it off all the time. Like I'll flip with the creature hog and then I'll switch to like a craw tube or a D-bomb or something, and they just slide right in and out. And then I put the creature hog on, and it's like it does not come in and out really clean for me. I don't like it.
David Dudley's Ned bait.
Yippee.
His shaky worm.
So Dudley's stuff goes into Walmart.
They came out with this last year, right? And this is just a bigger version. The Arma Joint.
I don't know. I don't buy these, so I don't know what's.
I know, but I'm pretty sure there was an Arma Joint flash boost last year. I think this is just a bigger version.
So this next one, the spinner baits. I've seen these in person. These have been out for a little while. These swaggy spinner baits. These are really nice in person. Like I was kind of impressed by the fit and like the quality and the components and everything look pretty freaking sweet. I don't know what the MSRP is though. I didn't look at the price. I didn't buy any. Like, does it say what the price is? Are they like over $10 or are they under $10 is my question. Because they are pretty trick.
It does not say. It is design incorporate both tin and tungsten.
Yeah, these things in person look really nice. I was like, ooh, this looks kind of trick.
It's a small, yeah. So they launched the regular size Yamatanuki at the Classic, and then they went to small size at ICAST.
You can put these on a Ned head, apparently.
This small size could be like a really like power Ned bait. I think there could be something where you put like just a little bit bigger Ned head, but you don't need it like a little Ned with a little bigger hook or a shaky or what we would call a jigworm hook. You put that in this, and you could have like a really power like compact. Sense. Might be something to that.
So someone said that Hive. Someone said in chat the Hive on the Lunker Hunt is their version of Elastic. It's their plastic, is what they call it. So the stretchy.
Good to know. Still not buying it. Yeah, so, Dudley has lots of pegs at Walmart's.
Dude, Dudley's crap is everywhere when you go to Walmart. You see his his wacky worm kits are like on the end caps.
Every time I hear Yamakra, I think of Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song.
Put on your Yamakra, because here comes Yamakra.
Hanukkah.
That's good. I'm going to steal that joke.
Have we not had a fat Senko before? Was it just the slim Senko before?
I thought we've always had. I thought that. Well, there's the 6-inch Senko, which is always like the bigger one. Was
This is a 20% larger diameter fat Senko
so it's like a Senko that you've left in the scent for too
that
long.
casts better and shows up better on sonar.
Sonar.
The
Oh gosh, that's so lame.
Yamamoto Scope Shad.
Oh yeah, this is another. There's got to be some mention of forward-facing sonar in the copy
Yeah.
there.
For sure.
The scope shad can
From
be
our
paired
Mega
with-
Floater formula. So this is not heavy salt. It's their Mega Floater.
I don't know what that means.
It's supposed to fit with the Buckeye Scope Head.
Oh, we saw that earlier, and we were saying it looks like
This thing looks.
jig
This looks like basically a night crawler.
Is that? Oh, a 10-inch. It's a big worm. Okay,
Yeah, but thin, like super thin. Like, I think you almost have to rig it like wacky or like the hook through it. I don't think you can actually like Texas rig it.
Do people use a lot of like straight-tailed 10-inch worms? It seems like most people use 10-inch worms are using some kind of curly tail.
Like this one.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a 10? Oh yeah, 10-inch.
Also, Mega Floater formula.
You know, I'm surprised no one has copied the Depths giant 16-inch worm that they have. You know what I'm talking about?
There should be a lot of rules about, like, A, if it's a knockoff. B, did it come out before ICAST? Is it like, well, you shouldn't be able to enter, right? Like, you shouldn't be able to enter color extensions. You shouldn't be able to enter a new size or a new weight or something that came out at the classic, or like there should be a lot more criteria to enter the new product showcase in general.
I think you're putting too much
if the
logic
purpose
into
of
this.
it is to legitimize it and not just feed into the corporate shenanigans.
So Depths, I'm sorry, it's not a 6. I said it's a 16-inch worm. Depths makes a giant worm that's 13 inches, and it's called the Kinku. And I'm surprised no one has knocked that off yet. I'm going to make a prediction. Next ICAST, someone's going to knock off the Kinku 13-inch worm. Wait, go back up. There was one thing that I wanted to that caught my eye. No, not the micro goat. No, sorry. I saw the Hellraiser. They made a smaller Hellraiser. Why? I've used the real Hellraiser and I've yet to get a bite. I've had some pike slap at it, but that's it.
I think you need shad for it to work.
Yeah, I know. It basically runs like a buzzbait, but way louder. It's really,
We
really
got a B-lat gremlin creature bait.
Wait, go back. Is that Elastic? Because Elastic, Z-Man's never made a bait like this, like a trench hog kind of like, or like, you know, like
I guess
hog.
that
Z-Man's never done one of these with the big long tentacles, like it reminds me of like a destroyer, right? So that's new. Z-Man's never.
I mean,
done
I
a bait.
assume it does not say that it's Elastic, but I assume it is.
It's gotta be. Everything Z-Man is. So that bait could actually be kind of cool. This looks
makes
nice.
sense. You should have. I mean, when everybody's throwing a spunk shad on the back of your chatterbait, you should come out with your own version so people can buy a Z-Man version. So
I know. Put them right next. By the way, your mic sounds better now.
oh,
I
good.
don't know why. Like your
The Unitoad. AJ was throwing this 2 weeks ago, so I'm not sure why it's a new product showcase.
So it's a toad crossbreeded with.
I hate everything about this brush
Oh,
craw.
When I saw this, I wanted to hear it because you're a hardcore brush hog fan.
It reminds me of the old hail worm craw.
When I saw this bait, I'm like, either Rich is gonna love this or hate this. Like, this is totally in your wheelhouse.
Hate it. Arc baits, not interested in any of these. I feel like Arc, didn't Randall Tharp had a different flipping jig with somebody else?
Probably, dude. Arc is
Wes
going
Logan's swim
hard
jig,
on
which Wes Logan used to be a big bite or a dirty jigs guy. Sleeper craw, this came out like a year ago, didn't it?
It came out this spring is when it dropped. Have you used the sleeper craw yet?
No.
I have, and it is actually a really fun dock skipping bait. It skips really well, and it doesn't grab much grass, and it gets bit. Like, I've had some really fun on Minnetonka. I was on Tonka one day, and I was with some people who were skipping Senkos on docks, and I was skipping the sleeper.
They were
craw.
children.
What's that?
They were children you were with.
It was children, but they were catching them on the Senko, but I was actually getting some good bites off the sleeper craw. It's a good bait.
Yeah,
I was the one
anyways.
throwing the sleeper craw just to be different. But yeah,
You're
sleeper craw.
different. You don't have to try, Brian. You're different. Don't worry.
But yeah, sleeper craw doesn't suck. I'll put it that way. It does get bit, and it's fun skipping bait.
So you saying the sleeper craw is better than the sleeper gill?
Oh, by a large factor, the sleeper gill sucks. You know why the sleeper gill sucks? You'll pay $6 for it. You throw it out, and a 11-inch northern will bite the tail right off it, and you just throw it in the trash. That's happened to me twice, so I don't buy them anymore.
I'm surprised that Spro didn't already have a walking bait.
No, I don't really pay attention to Spro hard baits that much. So the Meglajon. What do you think of this thing? Oh, you got one. Did you already you can buy them? Like, where'd you get it?
How did I get one? It just came out at ICAST. This is unbelievable.
Are you on the pro staff? Are you hashtag pro staff?
No, I ordered some stuff from Baitworks because I had something that I needed, and I just noticed they had these, so I was like, I'll grab some.
Is it heavy?
So here it is, compared to the Mag Draft. They're pretty much the same length, but this has a much deeper body, a little thicker in the
thicker down the middle, like me.
Yeah.
So is it
So
significantly
the interesting
heavier?
thing is, so the screw actually, or the magnet comes detached, and it's got a little screw in it, and there's a little cavity in the body, and you got to screw that in yourself.
Really? So it doesn't come with
Which
the magnet.
is not easy to do. I'll be interested to see how it holds, because it's hard to like get your fingers in there and turn this thing.
Question: it only comes with the one magnet.
Yeah.
So
So I would say the Megabass probably has a little more. Interesting.
Is there a major weight difference? It's got to be heavier, right? Because it's got more plastic.
Let me check.
I mean, it has to be, right? It's more material. The Meglajon. I will say the name Meglajon is kind of hilarious. Like whoever named it Meglajon I do golf clap for the naming on that. It's better than the dangerous swim bait. Like Zaldane's swim bait's got a lame name.
So
Meglajon
the Meglajon is about 3/8 of an ounce. So I've lost the magnet out of this, so let's call this one 1.25 ounces, and this is just over. This is like
ounce and a half,
a little over 1.5 ounces. So it's about 1/4 to 3/8 heavier than the Megabass.
So cast a little better theoretically.
It doesn't have the eyes are like molded, so you don't have to worry about them falling out like your Megabass eyes, which I could probably care less.
Yeah, they always fall out.
A little bit bigger profile. I don't know if the magnet actually is any. See, I don't mind the magnet because I just end up hooking it like that, and it seems to work just fine.
Yeah, it's what everybody does.
I catch a ton of fish just stabbing the hook into it.
Right.
So it doesn't really bother me that the magnet disappears in a mag draft. I still catch a ton of fish after the magnet's gone.
Yep. And a lot of guys will
the two colors. I got this kind of white albino shad, and then I got this kind of blue thing.
What's the price on those? Are they $10-ish, something like that?
$14.49. So they're very price competitive with the Megabass.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be around $10.
But you can't use your code or my code on the Megabass usually, and you'll be able to use codes on the Spro all the time. So
fair point. Yeah, I don't know. It's all right. If you're a mag draft nerd, you're probably still buying mag drafts, but they're definitely going for a different type of market, I guess.
Hull shad got recalled, I believe, because they didn't like the action, or the plastic wasn't as soft.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
I don't know. I think I would hope they're going to sell replacement magnets. Otherwise,
it only comes with one. It only comes with one.
All right. Spro Helix sticks. I'm sure you'll catch fish on it. Not that exciting. Spro Craw Nugget.
The Nugget.
So they've got their version of a depths poop quiver heavy.
The cover. There's
Missile
two
Baits came out
cover
with
scat
one.
clones. There's two cover scat clones, the Spro and the Missile. Like
Yeah.
there's only two knockoffs. Berkeley and Rapalas are coming out probably next
We
year.
got a Chris Johnson swim jig for $749.
Okay, look at the head on that thing. That is so weird. It's so flat. I don't get
Hand
it.
tied.
I mean, whatever.
know.
A swim jig's a swim jig.
Then we have a $7.99 flipping jig.
Dude, that looks like every single Arky jig ever. Like, what is that? Why does that exist? It looks like literally every other flipping jig.
Big bite jig. Looks like it's got a wire tie on it.
So I have a
We looked at
question.
most of these the other
Wait,
night.
I have a question. So they're calling it the deflection jig. What makes a swim jig deflect differently than any
Well,
other?
this one is specifically designed to be Alabama Shakers. So
What makes it specifically designed to do that?
the weed guard, the head, I don't know.
That's what I'm just saying. I don't get what makes swim jigs different from each other. They all seem kind of the same.
Then you have the big bite sensation stick bait. You got a bunch of crappie baits, big bite tube,
Another screw lock head.
A-rig heads, biz baits. So biz baits, soft plastic company now has a jig, a skip and flip jig. Kind of looks like the old man's stone jig a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of cool looking. It's a horizontal line tie.
Then I got a Jewel competitor.
Yeah, it looks just like
I
the
got a
Buckeye
swim
one.
jig. I just don't. Why does every? So I'm gonna get back on my soapbox from the other night.
Yeah.
Why does every company feel like they need to have a bait in every category? Why does every company feel like they need to be Strike King or Spro
Right.
or Berkeley Pure Fishing? Like, I would much rather people just like do
Specialized.
what you do it well, go deep, own your market, own 15-20% of a category instead of trying to get 1% of every category.
Like that football jig that you're stopped on right there is a perfect example. That looks like every other generic ass football jig that has ever been made. Like what would make you buy that? I don't get it. Like it's literally every other football
It's just
jig ever.
cannibalizing everybody. AJ checking in from Pigstone. He's got a club derby this weekend.
What up?
They need a spinner bait.
You need a
And
buzz
there's their
bait.
buzz bait. I mean, I guess this balding. I mean, this has kind of been done. I guess this is a little bit unique.
Yeah.
Up where we fish with all the grass, that's just a grass magnet.
Yeah.
Then they've got another buzz bait
Why do they have 5 buzz
and
baits?
another buzz bait and another buzz bait. It's like, oh my gosh.
Why so?
We got a shaky head.
Biz baits. Calm down with your buzz baits, bro. Make one
They
good
got two
one.
different shaky heads. They have a mag shaky head, a regular shaky head. Then they got their Ned head. I mean, they're
Okay.
just.
Who's the big biz baits team? Like, who's on there? Has anyone heard of? Like,
I
do
don't
they
know.
have any famous pro staff? Not that it matters. I'm just curious. Like, they're going all in on all of these product lines, and I'm going, why?
Fish Lab is a company I don't know a ton about.
Biz Baits has a whole 16,000 followers on Instagram.
There's the Fish Lab BioBlade spinnerbait, Fish Lab Mimic Tail, Fish
We're down
Lab
into the-
weird
we're down-
looking.
We're down in the discount bin now at this point.
I'm not sure if Wheeler does accent or not. He might. I actually like the Wheeler accent buzz. Here's a little micro jig from Jewel Bay. This is kind of interesting. I mean, this is a jig company going to a micro jig. Okay, you're a jig company. Like, okay, go deep on jigs. Sure.
Well, Jewel already has like
missile baits, poop bait.
Jewel already has
There's
good
Nishini.
Micro baits or micro jig. Sorry. Yeah, dude, that thing is crazy. That thing dives what 20 feet, something like that.
I don't know. I'm not a big deep. If it only says dives to 14.
Oh, I bet you could get it deeper.
It looks like it should dive to 20 or 34, not 14.
It should drag the ocean floor with that.
So this is a baby version of a bait they already have, right?
So yeah, this is their like. So they have a bigger one that's like a topwater bait, and this one is more of like a spy bait or subsurface bait. But you can make a bunch.
Oh, so this is not a.
Yeah, so you can make it run slightly subsurface. You can make it float by taking off some of the hardware, I believe. It's like modifiable. Like you can make some changes to it to give it different actions and things.
I'm saying Vicious coming out with the. I mean, like Vicious is a line company. They don't need to be making lipless crankbaits.
Oh, that looks like that Gill Bob looks like something from a Pixar movie. Like it looks like a Nemo character or something. Like
That's like a
what
crappie
am I-
bait, isn't it?
I don't know.
The Jenko Tin Cannon.
That looks like a Vixen clone. So Great Lakes is known for making small versions of everything. So like that's got to be a little teeny tiny underspin.
Sure.
Like everything Great Lakes is like this big.
Light line, long ultra finesse. Yep.
Oh, I picked up. You know what bait I picked up that everyone says is really good? This is supposedly a good smallie bait.
Yeah, I mean the micro tubes are good, so having a head that works with them.
I wonder
Like,
if anyone
I mean,
in chat has used the Great Lakes 2.1 inch. Like they actually say 2.1. Like why? Like they had to have that 0.1. But these
I
little
just won a
tiny
tournament. That thing
Yeah,
just
these little-
was credited with like a 30-pound smallie bag in a tournament.
yeah, these little snack craws. These things are so small. I'm gonna try
Have you
these.
thrown them on your Wisconsin smallie lakes yet?
Not yet. I just got it from Omnia. They had these in stock. I was gonna give it a whirl.
This is kind of interesting.
Oh, I saw this. This is weird, but it kind of awesome actually. So it's like
Yeah,
you
I
you
can
tie
kind of
it
get on
up.
board with this.
But here's the question. You get hooked into a rock and you are trying to. So to me, I fish a lot of rocks or like around hard cover with drop shots. I like being able to break off my cheap ass lead weight if it's too snagged. With that, you're going to lose the clip and the weight. Like for me, around rocks, I would never use this thing because you're just going to lose two pieces of hardware instead of one.
So yes, in an area where you're losing a lot of drop shot weights, this is maybe not. But
yeah,
so drop shots can be a pain to store in your rod locker and on your deck.
oh, you could snap the weight off.
So you can just take it off. Also, you could just like if you're fishing, especially as a co-angler or a rider in a boat, and you don't. I mean, yeah, this is not much different than a Norman speed clip, but just this whole idea of like quickly changing drop shot weights where the wind comes up. You go across, you're fishing on the calm side of the lake. Now you're fishing on the windy side. You don't have to retie your drop shot. You just switch between a quarter and a 3/8.
Yeah, that's the reason this exists, is so you can just switch your weights on the fly without retying. I mean, it's cool.
I kind of like
So,
this.
This is
one of the more
where,
interesting things that I've seen tonight.
this didn't win terminal tackle because this is actually like solves a problem.
Yeah, this is better than the pivot net head by a mile.
Oh, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like that solves a potential.
This
problem.
wins the Hellabass ICAST best terminal officially. They can we'll print them a certificate and they can hang it on the shop at Great Lakes Finesse.
You can take a picture send them a headshot of yourself. There's more. Oh, there it is. There's the snack craw.
Yeah. I mean,
Isn't it a weird looking thing?
A simple Ned craw imitator.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna throw it on a little micro football head. Oh, you know what? I actually
got
a head.
About this. You know how easy this would be to like pour yourself.
Right. The head I was going to throw that on was I was going to use one of these Northlands. So Northland actually makes they're a walleye company, but they make a really good micro finesse football head. I don't know if you know about this, but it's got a really small...
I don't think they reinvented this clip, but the fact that they marketed it as a drop shot clip is, yeah.
So there's this like little Northland makes these little teeny micro finesse football head, and I'm going to throw that little snack craw on this thing because I think the hook is small enough.
Oh, I'm starting to hear some thunder. The storms that you had are now made it down to. I'm sure this will be an amazing at catching fish. I'm sure there'll be no hookup issues with this soft plastic popper that has come up many times.
So here's evergreen stuff.
I just can't. I just can't. All right, I'm done. I can't take any more ICAST. I'm done.
Say ICAST this year sucks. Like, let's say it. Like, this year's ICAST was lame as hell. Like, not anything really game changer-y. Like, it was just, it was, at all. When the biggest stuff at ICAST is drama about JDM ripoff baits, like I saw more people talk about all the JDM ripoff stuff than anything that was actually announced at ICAST. The one thing we haven't touched on yet that is significant is the Tatula 100 casting reel. You should pull a picture up on that thing. That is significant.
We talked about it last time. Yep. Go away and tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's significant because just like the last Tatula cycle, Daiwa came out with the 100 first of the new platform, and then the SV came out, and then the Elite, and then the Elite pitch flip. You know what I mean? So like that means all of the current Tatulas are going to be going away within the next like year to year and a half. So next summer will be like the new Tatula SV. You know what I mean? So like all of the Tatula shit is going to get completely shaken up within the next year because that's the new Tatula 100 is like the bellwether. Like that's the new platform. Everything's going to be that going forward. So that's a pretty significant product launch. Is that little 200?
Danielle, we talked about the Conquest earlier.
Yeah, you missed out.
Jason, we talked about Cast King earlier on. Neither one of us are on board with that. Yes, so you could probably looking forward to discounted SVs in the semi-near future.
I would say next spring you're going to see a lot of SVs go on sale.
So save your Omnia credits for those discounted SVs.
Yeah, that's gonna. So yeah, the new Fuego LT came out. The new Tatula 100s came out. They added another thing that was sneaky that a lot of people that made no buzz whatsoever. Rich, is Fenwick rebooted their entire rod line. So Fenwick's a really popular.
That's because Pure Fishing killed Fenwick a long time ago.
But like they have the new Eagle, new HMG, new World Class. And I talked to some people who went and looked at all of the rods, and they said the new Fenwick stuff is way nicer than like any other rods. Like everyone's like, the new Fenwick stuff's nicer than the new Arc stuff. It's nicer than the new Mojos. Like they were like, I don't know why. Like Fenwick probably had the best like rod launch of anyone, and nobody's talking about it. Like apparently the new Fenwick stuff is super nice, and everyone's like ignoring it.
It's true. There's the new Fuego came out, so you can get the old Fuego for like $50.
I looked at the new Fuego aesthetically looks exactly like the LT. Like they use all of the same design cues. Like if you put them next to each other, it's going to be like, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell which is the new and which one's the old one. Like I couldn't tell.
Best new rod was
the Mojo.
The Mojo, the Trigon.
I talked to someone who is completely unbiased, who touched all the rods at ICAST, and he said his favorite rod was the new Fenwick World Class, the $300 Fenwick. He said it was amazing, like super nice, like really great new rod, and no one's talking about it. So yeah, so your Fenwick nerds are going to be excited about the new Fenwick.
Look at Mark standing strong on $190 in credit. That takes some fortitude.
What would you tell him to spend it on? If you had $190 to drop at Omnia right now, what would you buy?
Here's my advice. $190, I'd wait till that Stratic comes out. And since you won't be able to get a deal on the Stratic because it's code protected, that'd be a good way to use your.
Yes. The new Stratic is going to be sweet. Yeah, that's good advice. I don't know, $190 on Omnia. I don't really need anything right now. I'm trying to go through all the stuff I have. Like
next year, I'm submitting custom visors as a new product.
You should have a shop where you sell visors you've cut.
Andrew really wants you to talk about the X-Spreads. He's been asking about them.
Yeah, so that's another thing is Shimano released new rods in the Zodius line and new rods in the X-Pride line, and no one's talking about them. Like nothing. So I looked through some of the models. It's a lot of like really niche. I think the rod everyone's going to be excited for in the X-Pride line is they're coming out with a 7.6 medium light. So they're going for that real long kind of medium. That seems like does Dobbins make a 7.5 long, like a 7.5 to 7.6 medium light, like a longer whippier spinning rod? Do they have something like that? Like for throwing spy baits?
Yeah.
You know,
they only have in the Champion and Champion Extremes. You have to get in the $250 to $350 price point.
Okay. Yeah, because those rods are getting really popular right now. Like those longer but lighter action, lighter power spinning rods for throwing hair, spy baits, 1/8 ounce paddle tails, like Okashira screwhead stuff, like stuff where you want light and make a really long cast, right? Like that type of rod seems to be getting more and more
This is
popular.
a good tip. Save your credits for when they have discounts that are greater than 20% where you won't earn credits.
That is genius. Yep, exactly. Stack it, baby.
Pretty smart for an Iowa guy, Chris. That boy.
Oh, we bagging on Iowa.
Travis, he used a bunch of my reels. I mean, he used a bunch of different. I mean, he probably used 8 or 10 of my setups. Everything from old Corrado E and Chronarch E's to the coastal Daiwa. He really liked for a spinning rod. He really liked my Caden with my older Stratic spinning reel. What else would have what was my buzzbait rod? A Tatula 100 on that. So he used a fair amount of different older Shimano's. He cranked quite a bit with my Corrado K.
So he didn't bring
Corrado
any gear.
MGL.
You let him use all your stuff.
Yeah, he didn't. He just brought baits. He flew. So it's just a lot of different stuff, Travis.
That makes sense.
He did not. We never really took the ecstasy out of the ecstasy. Was rigged up with a power shot from my previous tournament. The ecstasy never actually came out of the rod box. I don't think he would have used it because I don't think he wanted any part of a $900 combo. He did not want to be responsible if something went wrong. Same way I had a yellow magic popper on my Fury rod, and he would not touch it because it was like so beat up. He's like, "You should retire that bait," and there's no way I'm going to be responsible for losing that yellow magic that has caught probably literally 100 to 200 bass.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool, though.
He didn't mind the Daiwas. He just thought they felt a little different in his hand because he's used to Shimano's.
So what's driving me nuts with my Daiwa stuff right now is the knocking. So like Daiwa came out with the monocoque bodied spinning reels. I have had a Kage MQ. I have a ballistic MQ, and I have the new Tatula MQ. All of them are knocking when you turn the handle fast. There's like this wiggle that comes through the handle into the gearing, and it's like when you reel fast, it goes like it makes an audible knocking noise across 3 different.
I don't have any of the monocoques yet.
I know, and I'm like, it's bugging me. I'm like, and it's weird is you can get that knock noise if you just hold the reel and then like wiggle the handle. You can make the knocking, like it'll be like, and I'm like, why does it do that? It's so like it's kind of annoying when you spend a bunch of money and like they don't do it when you take it right out of the box. Like when it's brand new out of the box, totally smooth, no noise, great. Go out and use them, break them in a little bit. Once they kind of flex, then that knocking starts. I was tempted to like make one of my YouTube videos. I was going to call it a mono knock instead of monocoque because I thought that's kind of funny sounding. So
I almost bought the Procyon MQ several times, but have not.
Yeah, I bought one and gave it away, and it was pretty nice. I'm not like entirely sold on the cheaper monocoque reels as being like something you have to have. I have some of the more higher end monocoque reels, like I have the Surte and the Exist. They don't knock, but they're also $500 and more. Oh yeah, what do you got in the box?
It's an Arsenal order.
No, Sean's thing is the knock due to shimming. No, it's inside it's the handle when it goes into the gearing. Like it's something internal. No.
People want to know if you tried greasing it.
No, I'm not taking these things open. I'm not. So the thing is to open up the monocoque, you actually have to have a specialized tool. I don't know if you know this, but the plate on the other side of a monocoque Daiwa reel, you have to have like, there's like a tool that has like these teeth to open up the side plate on a monocoque reel. So I don't have that tool.
T-shirt.
Is that an Arsenal order?
Yeah, it was an Arsenal t-shirt. But so I've been playing with their swim jigs. So I ordered a bunch more. So I ordered initially a bunch of 1/4 ounce swim jigs, and now I reordered a bunch of their 3/8 ounce swim jigs because their 3/8 has a very small head on it, Probably because I think their 3/8 is more like if you scaled it out, it's a true 3/8. Whereas I'm guessing if most people's 3/8 ounce jigs, if you scaled them out with the skirt and everything, they'd probably be closer to half. So I
Fabiano's
would
like
say
a
their
big 100 guy, right? Like he's
their
really
3/8 fishes like most other people's quarters. So, but
interesting.
so
Do
far
you?
been pretty successful with the swim jigs. Probably give a couple out tonight.
I haven't used one.
And then the lure wraps, I've been super impressed with.
I know I want to buy
So
some
I
of those.
got just a few more lure wraps, so I can throw all my other ones away.
A few.
But some people, so I've only showed the clear ones, right?
Yeah.
But people have asked about. They have a black version for you secretive, people that want to cover up what you're fishing with.
They want to hide it in the rod locker.
So AJ, when he's on a trip, he has a fresh pair of fishing gloves every day.
What does that mean? Like he buys a new pair or just washes them?
No, I mean he just has like 5 of them, and then he'll go home and wash them, and then he has like.
Well, dude, they get nasty. Like if you use one pair of fishing gloves and it's like you're catching fish and it's hot all day, they can get pretty gross after like one day of use. So I have multiple pairs as well. Like I have like 2 or 3 that I rotate. Can you use it as a sleep mask? It's kind of sleep masky.
So they just have a blackout version. But I don't know.
No, that's actually pretty sweet. I after watching your Instagram videos on this, I'm sold. I want a couple of them because I've been using the company that makes. They keep changing their name, but the company that makes the really good non-piercing cull clips. They make a bait holder that's really nice, but I'm guessing those are probably cheaper.
I have not. I had a couple bites. No, I don't know if I had a bite. I haven't thrown it a ton. They are Gen 1s, Travis. They are Gen 1.
Fancy.
But I haven't thrown them a ton. So who would like a set of wraps? Anybody?
Me.
We'll just give away
some
wraps. For those we had a big turnout tonight. People that have stuck around, we're going to give away a set of wraps.
Those things look pretty dang legit. Dan designed those. Like those aren't like
so.
Yeah, because I haven't seen that style by anyone else. So that must be, I don't know if it's
not with that material. There are some that wrap like that, but they're made out of like that mesh nylon.
Yeah,
they can still catch, like they're sewn on the edges.
Right.
Maybe I will give away my old wraps. So somebody that wants like hooks that catching things and frustrate you, then
but it's got your juju on it, so it's got to, it'll help with your fish catching.
And give away the ones my mom made me.
Wait, your mom made you some?
Yeah.
Aw. Oh, there we go.
So hashtag wraps. I'll give away a set of these. I'm gonna save some for some members.
How many people do we have watching? It seems to be well over.
They do have these are from my last order, but they do have these chartreuse Ned heads, which are pretty nice. The deadly Nedleys are a pretty good Ned head.
Looks like you could a good jigworm head too. I'm guessing.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you know what I like on Arsenal? I was looking at their shop the other day. I love that contour, that black contour hoodie he's got is kind of dope. I want one of those. You know what I'm talking about? It's like all black hoodie and it's got the contour waves around it, like a map. It looks pretty sweet. I kind of want that. I don't need another hoodie, but I have like a gazillion hoodies.
Everybody needs hoodies.
I know. I love hoodies.
It's
yeah, what's it called? The Contour Ops.
So there's the wraps. So I think I can actually, should we try the search function?
For what? The hoodie? It's right here. I'll throw it in the chat. It's right on their main page.
Oh, sorry, I have it. I just wasn't.
See, that hoodie is dope. Like, that is cool. I want that. That looks sweet.
No, 4XLs.
I need an XL.
Oh, a couple of double X's. 4 extra larges
Oh,
left.
I better order one. That thing's pretty sweet though. If I'm gonna
I
buy,
think like more of a large. You're not that big.
well, hoodies are always tricky because you don't know if they're gonna fit like kind of loose or kind of slim. Like some hoodies are always tough.
If you need a hoodie or bait wraps, you can use code HELLOBASS15. Save yourself a few bucks. Support me. Support Arsenal Fishing. Doing some cool stuff. I can't prove that hitting the thumbs up will increase your eligibility, but I like the thought that it could.
It definitely does. So everyone should hit it. It's math. It's math, dude. Okay. So I bought Arsenal, one of the Flex Fit stretchy hats, and I've been wearing that hat for like 2 seasons now, and it is so like I've worn it in super hot, nasty days, and it's still one of my favorite hats. Like I love my Arsenal hat. And that the hooded, his hooded sweatshirts fit really nice too. The sun shirts. I have just that regular gray one.
If you've noticed, that's pretty much what I wear in all my tournament videos is just the Arsenal sun shirt. So yeah, they're
it fit nice.
Should we check in? Checking in. Yeah, I would say the overwhelming response to my wrap vertical video has been pretty positive. People are pretty excited about it overall.
Yeah,
only 47 entries for the wrap so far.
Oh, wraps.
Yeah, this is interesting. We didn't talk about 7. I guess I didn't see. I didn't go through the real.
Yeah, we gotta talk about this bullshit. So 7, which is first off, if you thought Trigon was a bad name for their rod line, this is an even worse name for their reel line. So they're making a whole new brand. It's supposed to be 7 with the Roman numeral 7 in the name.
Yep. VII is Roman numeral 7.
First off, no one gives a shit about Roman numerals. Unless you're the NFL, no one uses Roman numerals. So like, why did they think Roman numerals are hip? Like, oh yeah. And then also when you add the double I's, people think it's pronounced Savine.
Savine.
Right. So you're just making confusion. Why not just call it 7? Just say SEVEN. Just use the word
Or
7.
why not just call it St. Croix Reels?
Because I don't think they want to associate themselves with this because it's probably going to flop. Like, I don't know if they want to dilute their brand by putting out subpar. See, here's to me, Rich. I think this is a combo play. I think this is that they want to have a reel and casting and a spinning reel that they can slap onto the Triumph or the Mojos or their like lower priced rods and have combos.
They're not like cheap. These are like $120, $180 reels. They're not really like $80, $100 combo reels.
But yeah, but I'm saying I won't be surprised if I see them being sold as packages with like their rods, like either on their website or at Bass Pro. I think they're gonna combo those things to me. If they're not gonna combo those things and they're thinking people are actually gonna go out and use these reels, they're batshit crazy. People touched and played with their spinning reel at ICAST and everybody says it's crap. Like people are like, what is this?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't feel like rod companies need to be making back to my thing. Like just
stick to the rods, man.
Go deeper, go for more market share of rods. Like, I don't know. I mean,
what's funny to me is their pro staff have had to make cringy posts about how they're excited about the new reels. Like, I'm not going to say who, but there's a couple St. Croix pro, because St. Croix has a ton of pro staff, and I don't know if you know this, but St. Croix's like guide network is like 400 plus guides. Like, there's so many guides throughout the world that are in the St. Croix's like guide program, and they all are like, a lot of them are like talking up, I got the new 7 reels and they're really great for the price. Like, they put these funny, like there's these qualifiers that if you read between the lines, it's like they're cheap and they're okay for being cheap. And they're really not that cheap. Like you said, they're still over $100. Yeah, it's a bizarre branding move. It's a bizarre market to jump into when they have no history in that. I don't know what the F St. Croix is thinking when they came up with this. It's so bad, top to bottom. The reels look bad. The branding's bad. The price point's bad. The marketing around it's bad. All of it's bad.
I mean, the difference is Shimano started making rods 20 years ago when there wasn't 40 rod companies I don't know. Like,
But also, Shimano has their own manufacturing facilities. They make everything themselves, especially with reels and rods. So, like, my point is, St. Croix, these rods are coming from China, or these reels are coming from China or some Asian country. Like, no, they're not making these. They're cake decorating them. They're probably Korean. How many you got? 60?
okay, hooks up for free. I'm going to send a live redirect to you. So we'll try to wrap up here in 10 minutes and people can just go over and hang out. So
is there a third stream so they can go from Debo's stream to this stream?
What's that?
Oh, so I was just saying they can go from Debo's stream to this stream to another stream, and they can just keep doing fishing stuff all night.
I didn't. All right, let's just draw this quick here.
Ding 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 ding. They need a noise when you do this.
I did not see the Bass Mafia jerkbait in topwater colors. Kyle Wright. Congratulations, Kyle.
Congrats. Yeah, so Bass Mafia dropped a jerkbait that DC Dustin Connell is really pushing because he's like Mr. Forward-facing sonar jerkbait now. And now he's got his own jerkbait from Bass Mafia that they're selling.
So it's like they're trying to are they trying to, because Guggen owns Bass Mafia, so they're trying to like separate because there's a lot of people that won't buy Guggen, so that they might buy Bass Mafia. I don't know.
I have no idea. Bass Mafia is just jumping into baits, and they announced a stick top water bait, like a walking bait, and a jerk bait at ICAST to go along with the Zaldani Chris whatever mag draft swim bait.
So Kyle,
congrats, Kyle.
Send me a message on Instagram or Facebook or contact@richlingren.com. Send me your address. I'll get those shipped out probably Monday.
Someone goes, what's the next stream going to talk about? I can't handle another ICAST show.
I don't know.
Bravo, sir. That's funny. Yes. I'm so tired of it. I'm going to still on my Instagram. I think tomorrow I'm going to do my ICAST roast posts. I'm going to do that. I've been waiting. I'm going to unleash it tomorrow.
I think Dobbins is selling a few reels. I honestly, the Dobbins reel is okay for $100. I'm not going to tell you that it's the greatest. I mean, it can hang with a Fuego for $100. It can hang. I mean, it hangs with an SLX. I would say it probably casts further than my SLX, but it's a little harder to tune. I throw my topwater popper on it. It's a fine reel, but I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, like. I also don't think that. I mean. Well, I wasn't like super excited when Gary was like, "We're coming out with reels." I wasn't like, "These are the greatest reels in the world. Everybody should buy 100 Dobbins reels." Like, it's a decent $100 reel.
Well, like, okay, so you got Dobbins, Duckett, Arc, Denali now has reels. St. Croix has reels. I mean, it went from like only a handful of reel companies to now there's like the rod companies that make reels. There's only a small amount, and now there's like 9. You know what I mean? Like the floodgates opened up on this in the last couple of years, and now everybody's doing it.
I'll try to coordinate this. Maybe I can Big Stone vlog. We can do the Big Stone video release, and then I'll see if I can get AJ and or TK to join the after party.
Oh, you guys could like talk about it as it's going or something like that. That could be kind of cool.
Or we could do a live replay or something like watch party.
Yeah, watch party is a good idea. That'd be kind of fun. You guys could tell stories while you're watching.
The real truth behind the trip. Members only.
It's actually a pretty good idea. I think people would like that.
Let's see, just like a Champion XP or X Pride. I've only used the XP. I think they're good rods for $250. I don't know that. I know you fished X Prides, but I don't know if you spent much time with the Champion series of. And I think it really would probably come down to model by model. Honestly, There's a lot of people that like both of those rods, and there's a lot of unique models in both of those lineups, and it probably would come down to personal preference and model by model.
I will say Dobbins wins in the warranty because going through warranty stuff with Shimano is like takes a while. So like Dobbin's probably gonna have better customer service and warranty than talking to big conglomerate like Shimano. So they're gonna win in the warranty department. I mean, obviously, like fit and finish wise, the X Prides are run circles around the Dobbin stuff because I mean the new X Prides are beautiful. Like they're so nice. Like if you're really worried about aesthetics and you just want something that looks amazing, like the X Prides are really hard to beat for like $300. But also Dobbin's has way more models. Like there's a lot more, like in the XP, like there's a lot of XPs, right? Like there's quite a few. Like it's a pretty expansive line at this point, right? So like if you want just like a variety, you're probably going to lean Dobbins. Although they've expanded the X Pride line with 6 more models, but who the frick knows when those things are going to actually hit stores and be available? Because Shimano is extremely.
Thing was right. Like if you break an X Pride, who knows when you'll ever see a warranty replacement based on availability.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to pay probably to have it replaced too. An X Pride, I think to replace an X Pride, if you have a whoops and break it, I think it's like $100 to $120 or something. I forgot what the replacement fee is.
It's not way different for a Dobbins Champion by the time you pay shipping.
Okay. So I don't know. I would say here's the thing.
Are you gonna get the Trigon and do a review? You've done your fair share of St. Croix reviews in the past.
You know what? Every time St. Croix releases a new rod, you know what I do? I wait till Thorn gets them all because they always get all the St. Croix stuff. So I wait. I go to Thorn. I look at all the rods. I check them out. I play with them, and if any of them perk my interest, I might buy one.
Speak to you.
Yeah. So that's I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I will wait to see them. I'll wait to pass judgment until I actually touch them all. Thorn usually gets them all.
If the one speaks to you, then you spend your Omnia credit and you buy it and you review it and then you sell it.
I will say though, just from a content standpoint, like when you put out a video talking about something that's more budget friendly, it gets way more views. Like I did some if I do a rod or if I do a video on a Tatula rod, it gets 7 times more views than an NRX. You know what I mean? Like so for my channel, it would be smart for me to buy one and do some content about it. So it would not be a bad idea to review one at some point or something. So it's within the realm of possibility. We'll see. But I got to find a model where I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. I want to try this. I'm not just going to grab like a random 7-foot medium heavy just to try.
So the Shimano Kratos. So I would not. I mean, the Champion XP 744. Oh, he's for a jig rod. I really like the 744 as a jig rod.
But what size?
I've never touched the Corrado 7.2, but like the 740 is a jig special rod. It's a really good rod.
Also, are we talking like just 1/2-ounce jigs? Because if 1/2-ounce jigs, you don't need a heavy. You can go with the.
No, I like to throw like a 1/2 and 3/4 ounce grass jig on my XP 744.
Right, maybe that's what he's talking about. But I don't know. I haven't used any of it. Oh, I think the Corrados. I haven't used any of the Corrado, like the current generation Corrado rods. So I don't know. I think this is a question that doesn't really matter. No offense, South Jersey, but like St. Croix is always going to build stuff in Wisconsin. Like that's their thing. So like, I mean, but they do
like, but I think most people believe they're all made in Wisconsin, even though the lower ones are made in Mexico.
Well, they say right on the blank though.
Yeah, but I mean, you see all the people in your comments of your videos that make dumb accusations about like where they're like, I'll buy Brickley because Brickley's an American company, and it's like, oh well, do you not see all the made in China stickers all over? I mean, like,
I guess I don't know. I don't know. That's a question that I don't think really has an answer, to be honest.
I use the 705 as my dock jig rod, but I have other rods that I use for non-dock skipping a lot.
So you like a 5? You like a heavier rod for dock skipping.
Yeah. I think the Ultra Quest is probably going to be a really good trolling motor. I'm probably not going to get one this model year, but I will probably the second model year will get one.
So the Quest is a no-brainer for a lot of reasons. Number one, because I watched their videos and everything, so it's brushless, so it's going to have less power. It's going to be more efficient. I think the big thing though is they added a lot more strength and rigidity into it because people are putting so much bullshit on their shafts now. like, you know, the 360s or the independent mounts for the live scopes. So like so much more weight is going onto the shaft than
And just
when
the shock,
came out.
like the lift assist is more strong now. Because like
Right.
I never thought my Ultrex was heavy, but now that I have a live scope and a 360 on it, it is a bear. And,
Yeah.
and TK complained about that a lot, like how heavy it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So my point is, if you're going to put a bunch of crap on your trolling motor, like it seems like a no-brainer. Especially, you know, you and I are getting old. We need all the assistance we can get as for, you know, not as strong as we used to be. But I don't know. I think it's sweet. They had to do these upgrades. Like, you know, they were getting leapfrogged by the other brands, so they needed to.
Justin, I would say the 744 is probably at least a half power stronger than the 704. The 4 power, that particular XP 744 jig rod hits almost like a 5 power.
Mm.
So there is a decent amount between those two rods.
My 750, I always get these wrong. So my ecstasy, 754, right? That thing is like a legit, just straight medium heavy. Like
Look at Chris being kind of semi-positive about ICAST. Oh, that's cute, Chris.
I just think this ICAST is like kind of boring. Like, does it need to be there?
A small niche South Jersey of people that will buy cash and that will buy St. Croix because they're made in the U.S.
Yeah, and that's great. I think they should. You got to, I mean, making work for U.S. workers is never a bad thing. I will say though that the cash-in rods have you played with cash-in at all? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
I got a cash-in Icon, and my entire experience with it is, like it's not bad, but it's not great. It's just kind of like, But they do everything. They roll the blanks, they wrap them. Everything is done soup to nuts.
There's some good videos. Like I think John Cruz and a couple other people have done some videos, and you can kind of see like they basically they roll their own blanks there, so it's legit.
Yeah, it's for in a U.S. made product. If you want to back, what's nice though is you have options. Like if you want to support a U.S. company, there's options. You got Loomis, you got St. Croix, you got Cash-in.
Where you don't have a lot of options for good stuff is Reels.
You have to go with the big badass Japanese companies to get good stuff. Yeah, I know.
Or there are probably a couple, but they're extremely expensive.
I think there's some boutiques that do like high-end salt reels that are US, but yeah, they're not cheap. That's the thing. It's like it's the business model for making reels at scale does not tend to lean towards US.
There's a company that's starting to try to make them out of Texas. They were at the Classic.
Right.
I forget what they're called. They're like all machined aluminum.
It's a very forgettable name. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I want the US brands to do well and make good stuff. I mean, Loomis is
it's Bates. It's Bates is the real, like Bates Motel.
Bates. What a weird name for a real company. Bates.
Casting rod for weightless Senko. I think like a 3 power and a length that you like would be a good option for that.
I can't even remember the last time I threw a weightless Senko on a casting rod. I used to do it all the time,
but not wacky rig, but I will occasionally.
That's what I'm talking about. Like a weightless Senko Texas rigged on a casting rod. I used to do it all the time, and now I never do it. I just kind of stopped. I don't know why.
It's so like if you really want to be into fishing, it's hard. If you want to like. To be like, if you want to be like, I'm only buying American-made stuff. That's a tough road to hoe in the fishing industry.
Yeah, you can't. Everything is based. Your graphs are China. A lot of stuff in your boat is from China. All your terminal, your lines from China. Like the clothes you're wearing when you're going out fishing is from China.
I don't know about this. I know nothing about Six Gill. Supposedly they have these bait casters that are made in America. Are they made in America or are they assembled? Right, like you could probably literally buying 100% China components assembled in the U.S. I have no idea. I'm just saying, like,
yeah. Justin Cook said, "Punch, are you a Dobbins guy too?" I'm not any brand guy. I just like if you look at my rod locker, it's like a hodgepodge of all sorts of stuff. I just kind of like I go where the wind takes me. I'm not
well, here's Paul. I would say this. So like, nobody is the whole thing about being accurate. Medium, there's no standard for a medium or a medium heavy or a fast, or like it's all made up kind of loose guidelines. So I will say Dobbins is very true and accurate to their own labels, right? They're very consistent. Like if you go, for the most part, their mediums to medium heavies to extra fast to moderate fast through their lines are very consistent. But if you're going off numbers, like if you're a Loomis guy and you say like I like a 4-power, 5-power, I would say that a Loomis is a half power heavier at least than most Dobbins. So like if you like a 4-power Loomis for an application, you probably want a 5-power Dobbins, if that helps.
That is absolutely 100% correct. A 5-power Loomis is pretty dang stiff. Oh, no, you're saying a 4. So 4-power Loomis is definitely like a 5-power. Absolutely, that totally rings true. Because I have.
It's like does like Cashin use Fuji guides, or they use a different guide on their rods?
I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look
I'm
it
sure
up.
some of their rods have Fuji guides. I don't know. Like,
good question. I don't know. Their Icon series is like their expensive one. So if anyone's using Fuji, it'd probably be stainless steel Fuji. I don't know. I have to look it up.
yeah, that's a good thing. Like some of the Dobbin stuff, they do put a lot of like lure applications. Like when you pick up, like it'll say it's a jig rod, Carolina rig, frog rod. Like they're a pretty good guide, and they have pretty good descriptions on their website as well. Cadence series jig rod, I would go 715 or 745 for a jig rod for the Cadence series, depending what length you want, either a 7'1" or a 7'4".
Megabats came out with a new jig rod called the FMJ. I'm sure there's probably a few people in chat that have purchased it, and I've been using that for 1/2-ounce jigs all year, and it is so good. Like I am really, really a big fan of it. It's basically like I would say it's like equivalent to the Dobbins 5-power, but really, really, really nice. So anyway, point is, Megabass isn't great at making jig rods, and they finally made a good one. Like it took them a while, but they finally have like a really nice, good, legit.
We should do a video on the Shields Outfitters 1 series. That'd probably get a ton of views.
Shields has house brand rods. I'm assuming. I guess they do. I don't live by a Shields. All the Shields are Eden Prairie or St. Cloud. Like I don't have one close, so I never go to one. Like it's a long drive to go to a Shields for me.
Yeah, that's probably the thing. Is like, so where do you think they get the graphite for rolling those Cashin and St. Croix rods?
I know, right? Yeah, I know, right? There's U.S. people rolling them and making them, but the materials and the components are not made in the U.S. No.
Is this a thing?
They do. So the old NRXs, so the original, not the pluses, the old ones did tend to scrape and show wear. It never affected how they performed, but they did get like patinaed if you use them a lot. So yeah, but the new NRX pluses, I have not had any of that happening so far on the ones I have. But also they've only been out for 2 years. So, oh gosh, St. Croix stuff is so soft. And it's different between the lines. So that I have.
Slippery slope. I'm not fishing any St. Croix because can't really.
So St. Croix are typically slower actions. They're kind of squishy. So I would say
heavy.
Oh, yeah, they are. Well, some of them are. But the problem with St. Croix is like weight wise, when you put them on a scale, they're not that heavy. It's just a lot of them feel heavy because their balance sucks in a lot of different models. So they feel heavier than they actually are when you put them on a scale, which is not a good sign. And they still haven't gotten good at that.
I think Dobbins are the opposite. You put them on a scale. They're not going to, when you put them on a scale, you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, it's super light, but they fish light in hand because of the balance usually.
No, I will 100% agree with that. Like my Ecstasy. So here's the funny thing. I'm going to make a video on when I do the Ecstasy review, I'm going to put it up against an NRX 894, which is the 7.5, like Mount Rushmore jig rod that everyone loves from NRX. when you put it next to when you literally put it right next to the Ecstasy, the handle length on the NRX and the Ecstasy are the exact same, like from grip to butt, same. But what's funny is when you hold them, the NRX is insanely tip heavy in comparison to the exact same length Dobbins, and it's like you got to put a heavy ass reel on the NRX to balance it out, where you can kind of put any dang reel you want on the Dobbins and it feels fine. So like, it is funny, like, you know, for the price point, they are really, really well balanced, and it actually makes them more fun to fish than an NRX length equivalent. Like, I have not touched my NRX 894 in a while because I have other rods I like better, including the Ecstasy. It's collecting dust. So yeah, Dobbins, very good at balancing. That's they know what they're doing there.
Cool. Well, I got the note from our winner. I saw it pop up. I'll send him some swim jigs and some bait wraps. I'll do them. I need to get a member stream on here and give some members some of this stuff here in the near future. Got to get I have a tournament tomorrow and Saturday on the river.
Wait, what? Tomorrow on a Friday, a tournament?
It's Friday, Saturday. It's a 2-day.
Oh, okay. Got it.
It's the Bass Nation state tournament.
Oh, it's the state tournament.
The Bass Federation state tournament.
How many people are in it?
It's not a huge tournament.
Oh yeah.
The boats are down this year, but we're fishing pools 2, 3, and 4 and the St. Croix. We're taking out of Hastings.
Oh, so it's still in your wheelhouse.
It is not the most fruitful sections of the river that I've ever seen.
Really? Have you been practicing?
A little bit, but I'm not super excited. We'll see. Catchway release.
How's the weather looking?
Looks like beautiful weather. Should be a beautiful weekend. So
nice. I'm gonna hopefully go ahead.
He's fishing
MD Bass State. Oh wait, MD Bass State, Tourney. Texas.
I think TX is Tourney in this case. Maryland Bass State Tournament.
Oh, got it.
Gator, they're both good. So you can either get a Fury or a Champion in the 735, or you can get a Caden or a Champion Extreme 745. They're both very good jig rods. So it would just matter to be a price point deal.
Very nice.
But, I'm trying to came in late. I think we had some fun tonight. Catch the replay on the Punch channel, the Hellabass channel. Search Hellabass on your favorite podcast app.
Follow on Instagram.
And yeah. So you got any content coming out, Punch? You gonna actually do some videos, or what's going on?
Yeah, I'm gonna record one tomorrow on the so you know what I haven't done that I keep is in the back of my brain is I haven't done my big rod arsenal video yet. I usually do it in the spring and I kind of just completely brushed it off, and I need to do that because it is one of the most viewed videos that I ever make every year, and me not doing it is really dumb. You know what I mean? It generates a lot of views and a lot of affiliate traffic, so I have to just bite the bullet and do that stupid thing. So I'm gonna try.
Yeah, I was gonna do my multi-part series, and I never got around to it. Now I'll probably just wait till it gets cold.
But I want to do it, just get it out of the way. So I might film that this weekend if I'm bored. But I also am gonna do a review video on the new Daiwa Tatula Elite rod that I have. That's why I wanted to get a clip tonight to add to that. So I'm gonna look at my clip, and if it's good, I'm gonna go make that tomorrow. So yeah, I got a couple things. My list of stuff I want to make is long. I just am kind of we bought a new camper. That was a whole multi-week ordeal.
And it's the thing is it's summer in Minnesota, and you want to fish when the water's open.
Well, yeah, I mean not just that, but there's other stuff too, right? It's it's summer, you don't want to waste it. Go on vacations and do stuff with the kids and get fishing in as much. The time is short. Got to make use of it. I agree there, but no excuse. I got stuff. And I got to do my Dobbins Ecstasy review video. That's one I've been waiting to do for a while because I've had this stupid rod for over a year and I've been using it a lot. I just got to rip off a video for it.
There you go. All right. Well, I think the auto trigger should send some of you to hook sets are free for Tyler. If you're not done tonight, I got to go throw a couple things in the boat. Throw some of these new Arsenal swim jigs in the boat. Tie them on tomorrow. Maybe I'll do like a members live stream, kind of recapping.
So are
Day one
you
tomorrow night. We'll see.
are you not partnered with Super K anymore, or are you just doing?
I mean, no, I mean you can still use my code there, so there's no like. I mean, I would say this is more of a fluorocarbon swim jig, and the Super K's got a stauncher hook, more of a braid or heavy cover, a little bit different style swim jigs. But and
I've
Super
had
K,
one-
you can get unlimited customizable skirts and things like that. So I mean, like
I've had this one Super K jig that I tied on in the spring on my like swim jig rod, and I have yet to lose it. I've retied it a few times, and it's gotten many bites, and I'm just leaving the damn thing on there. It's perch
and
color.
the skirt's getting, the more the ragged the skirt gets, the more fish it catches.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lucky jig. Like I'm gonna beat the brakes off this thing all year and see if I can make it to the end.
That's the nice thing about those hand tied skirts is they just literally they last forever.
Yeah, I have this one Super K. I think it's not a perch color. It's the whatever that river gill or
River
whatever.
gill.
It's that color, and then I just changed the trailer. But sometimes it's a paddle tail, sometimes it's a craw. It's a 1/4 ounce, which is like my favorite swim jig size. But yeah, I got one that's been a trooper for me all year so far, and it's still hanging around. Hasn't been piped
Shorter
yet.
skirts are good too, Gators.
But wasn't it funny? Like
All
I bought a whole bunch of Super K jigs. I probably have like 7 or 8 of them. I tied one on. I'm still using it. I'm gonna see how long I can go without getting piked.
The pike will be the death of it for sure.
Oh, I lost a bunch of tungsten tonight. Within about 6 casts, I lost 2 Texas rigs tonight with nice Gami ring hooks and tungsten sinkers. I was like, oh, it's gonna be
probably
one of these.
JDM plastics too.
No, I was using, you know what bait I was using? You know this one well. I was throwing chunky D's tonight on a.
Yeah. I like it more as I mean, I have flipped it, but I like it as a jig trailer best.
Well, I wanted to downsize a little bit because this lake has really small forage. It's kind of a stunted lake. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw the chunky D around, and it didn't really get bit, so maybe I shouldn't have. I got no action other than pike ripping my rig away.
Absolutely. All right. I gotta get wrapped up here. Thanks for coming on, Brian.
Yeah,
good
thank
luck.
you.
And as always, here to help you guys catch more big bass and suck less.
Peace.